Hi guys, welcome to part 6 of Horizon Zero Dawn. We are just sort of going around doing stuff. Let's see. We go to the excavation, moment of peace. So that's actually the expansion, I think. Let's go to help Errand with the rest of his stuff.
It would be helpful if they marked it frozen waste so that you knew, like they do in Witcher.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's so Hot Wheels is the mod. He was talking yesterday to you directly in chat. And he acts as my mod. He's nice.
Good.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Well, you're pretty nice to do it for free, considering like I'm not paying you. I'd say that's pretty nice to me.
Well, I suppose.
Like, it doesn't matter what you say, it's pretty nice to me.
It's mostly that I've got nothing better to do.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything, but I'm getting why is it telling me to go?
Well, at the end of the day, it gives me a break from law school.
Yeah. Yeah, he's cool. I've known... Oh, laggy. Okay.
Yeah, your camera's a bit laggy.
Yeah, not sure how I can fix that, really.
I think it's because you're rating to multiple sources.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I can think of is maybe, like, upping the...
Because when you pause the game, your webcam's smooth, but when the game's running, you're jerking.
Yeah, let me crank up the bitrate for the stream. Let's do 20,000.
I've kind of got a way that I'm monitoring both screens at the same time.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've sort of cascaded the web browser window so that I've got the Discord window overlaying the video part of the stream, and then I can see the chat.
I mean, the preview now seems pretty smooth. How's it looking?
Yeah, looks fine.
Cool.
Obviously, we've got the usual time delay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with me cascading like this, I've basically got the live version on top of your one.
Yeah, I mean...
But I've got it in such a way that I can still see what Aditya's saying live. So, means I can do my job properly.
Yeah.
Kind of annoying, and you're right, I should look at getting a second monitor, but...
If you don't have the space for it, you don't have the space for it, you know.
This is what I like to call the Roger job version. Or poor man's Roger job or poor man's solution.
Oh yeah, like I used to do that. It's just like putting half your window on the left side and half your window on the right side.
Yeah, that's essentially what I've done, just overlaying it. The videos on top of the video.
Nearly had me.
Yeah, that's what happens when you miss.
For the
You're not very good at headshots, are you?
No, I've never been one to claim
Fear the
master of headshot.
But I'm quite proud of us, because we not only solved the lagging issues in other games,
Yeah.
we've got you running at 1080p, which is the new standard.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've got the specs to do so, it's just I didn't really,
Yeah, rub it in.
what the settings were.
Oh boy.
I am planning on buying my new computer soon. It's just trying to get the money together in a lump sum. It's a pain in the because bills always seem to come in right when you've almost got the money, you know?
Always when you need it, mate. No?
But wouldn't like to be in her shoes right now.
Yeah, right?
Now all we need is the T-Rex to turn up.
I don't know that is a T-Rex.
Oh, come on, it looks exactly like one.
Is T-Rex actually? And that is
Maybe it's an evolved T-Rex that doesn't have short arms.
Yes!
But yeah, a rocket launching T-Rex, who'd have thunk?
right? It makes for an awesome premise for a video game. Like, you know, a girl with like arrows versus robo dinosaurs.
Right? Kind of like a modern day Turok.
Yeah. And like, the story is awesome as well. I love it. So good. So I played it when it was released for the PlayStation.
Now.
Yeah, I bought it at the same time because you were raving about it.
I love it. Yeah.
Then of course my PlayStation got stolen about a week or two after I bought it.
I mean, you just have no luck when it comes to that sort of stuff.
Well, that's what happens when you have to take roommates
What
in
was
because
this?
the government suddenly decides that you owe housing tax because you have a bedroom you're not using.
I mean, I've got a roommate. He's never stolen from me that I know of. So it could be early days, you know.
You got to remember that you're not in Eastleigh.
It's true. That's true. Thank God.
Location, location, location. It always bugs me because they'd always start out for the first like 4 months paying the rent perfectly fine,
Yeah.
and then they just one day stop, and then they'd start stealing, and it's like, what?
What is this? I'll go to the excavation site. Maybe I'm on the wrong side of it. Alright, let's go around and see if I can find another entrance.
I'll find a use for
If
you.
at first you don't succeed, climb.
Yeah, I mean, I do need these medical herbs anyway.
I'm not sure if we've lost a DJ because he's gone awfully silent.
I mean, we've got 3 viewers at the moment, so maybe he's one of those.
Forget about traveling light.
Yeah, so today
Oh.
on Facebook,
This is what you intend. To bring these ancient things back to life.
Their power serves us.
Machine demons from beneath the ground. It's a nightmare.
Nightmares. Yes, the worst dreams of our enemies come true. Yes, rise.
So much for catching him alone.
These things will destroy us all!
They will only destroy our enemies and bring us back the lands that were taken.
My focus. Stop working.
Search the area. We may have intruders.
Forgive this intrusion, Aloy. You left me no choice.
Who is this?
An interested party. Now, the focuses are disabled, but I don't know for how long. The rest is up to you.
Who is this?
An interested third party.
You want Skynet? Because this is how you get Skynet.
Wow, you say Skynet. Funny enough. I guess that's Aaron.
It's always the way we start talking about stuff and then a cutscene will...
Yeah. Sorry, you were saying Facebook.
So, today on Facebook somebody posted a picture about Pepe Le Pew and how ridiculous it is that people cancelled a cartoon skunk,
Wow.
yet allow things like Nicki Minaj.
Please.
If you let me finish, Nicki Minaj is dancing and things. It's perfectly acceptable.
This is it.
Kill
Well,
her!
it's about the
You
target
had your
audience.
chance.
Yes and no.
Well, like, Nicki Minaj is very popular.
I understand that, but at the same time, a lot of the Pepe Le Pew cartoons aren't actually re-aired these days. And you got to remember, they were made in 1945 when attitudes were a hell of a lot different.
Sure, yeah.
And the fact that the cat that Pepe Le Pew's always pestering does actually fancy him. She's just put off by the fact that he's a skunk and stinks. So it's kind of blown out of proportion.
Sure.
Anyway, so somebody started complaining.
Actually, yeah.
And I weighed in on a pro, stance, saying that yes, I can understand why people are offended by it nowadays.
Sure.
Yes, I can understand that it's not appropriate behaviour.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the same time, perhaps you ought to educate your kids instead of sticking them in front of the TV,
Right.
because censorship like that is dangerous, because people like Pepe do exist in the world, and it helps raise awareness that this type of behaviour happens.
Sure.
You can see
But I
them.
don't think
And-
that's the original intent.
Oh no, I know. But if you, sorry, I'm still
Getting to your point.
and yeah, and I watched all those cartoons in the 90s, same as everyone else. And I didn't turn out to be a sex pest rapist.
Yeah.
So I posted that and was like, at the end of the day, teach your kids, don't let a TV do your job for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
And somebody posted, I'm glad to hear you're not a rapist because you look like one.
Well, that just proves that they don't have a point. Doesn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, that's what upset me, because basically when I responded and said, so what part of me looks like a rapist? The fact that I'm in a wheelchair and struggle to shave, or the fact that I can't hold a phone very well, so I struggle to take a decent angle for a selfie, and all that. And then she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realise you were in a wheelchair.
Oh, that makes it all right.
Yeah, exactly why I was upset.
Oh, that's sure.
Like, suddenly, because I'm in a wheelchair, my point is valid, So you can see why I was upset by it, because I'm like, what a double f***ing standard. When it's just a man weighing in an opinion he's a rapist, but as soon as...
It's like making fun of someone. Yeah.
No. And the fact of the matter is, I've never really cared about my appearance in the way that some people do.
I don't either, yeah.
Because
I really should,
there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's very limited amount of things that you can do about it anyway.
Well, no, nothing I can. I'm broke.
Well, yeah.
It's like either you like me or you don't. I'm not gonna change who and what I am
For sure.
just to meet your aesthetic standards, you know?
Yeah. Let's see what we got.
Because, you know, buying food and surviving till the next couple of days is more important to me than
Oh, absolutely.
wearing the latest clothes or...
I mean, I don't think you have to be...
Hear me out.
Clothes or whatever.
Oh,
but, like-
we've got someone else come in who says the stream's lagging.
Oh, okay. Hi, as you. Is
You
it
came for
lagging
me.
on the one that you can see
ready.
on?
Yes, it is. It's lagging for me, so yes.
Right, let's take a look.
Um,
I mean, the only other thing I can think of is just crank up the output bits more, but like,
yeah, it's bizarre. Because it was working fine a few minutes ago.
yeah,
Which either suggests that your computer's running processes in the background.
I mean, yeah, it's always running some processes in the background.
I mean, you've completely frozen on stream.
Hear me
Yeah.
out.
Am I? I mean, like, I'm looking at my preview, but obviously that's not the stream.
Yeah, on stream it's doing like
You
one
came for
frame
me.
per 30 seconds.
Let me see what I can quit.
Um,
Gonna.
and thank you for bringing it to our attention as
Yeah.
the...
As you. I presume that's how you say it.
I'm just going to say Azzy.
Frames missing due to lag, skip frame due to encoding lag. Oh, maybe I can make it a higher priority. 1 second. Stream.
At least it gives you a somewhat explanation as to what's happening.
Yeah.
Whereas
Profile.
Streamlabs is just like frame rate drop.
Low
Great, why?
latency quality.
Could it be your internet connection?
No. My internet connection is super quick.
Well, so's mine, but that doesn't mean I necessarily get what I should.
Profile high. I mean, aside from that, there's not really much I can do.
Oh, 1 second.
So,
I need to mute for a second.
alright. What about now, Azure? Is it laggy still?
Hear me out.
And yes, it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, my headset just started beeping at me, telling me I have
Hear me out.
virtually no battery, despite the fact that it was perfectly fine a minute ago.
Sorry, 1 second. Where's the
Hear me out.
thing?
If you're using Chrome, just right-click and mute tab.
No, I'm using my
You came for me. I'm ready.
And just turn your phone volume down.
Hear
You know,
me out.
using the volume
There we
buttons on the iPhone. Luckily, we discovered that I can plug it
Hear
into
me
charge
out.
while it's active.
Right.
So if you give me a second.
Came for me.
What about now?
I'm ready.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm back. So, yeah, I am here.
Hear me out.
Hot Wheels, you there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to plug the headset in 1 second.
Alright. I don't want to, like, progress with the story without, like...
It is
me
running,
out.
but it's still a bit laggy.
Oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing,
Dust
then.
feels like it's under my skin.
Like, there's only so much
Hear
I
me
can
out.
do. Yeah, it's on my phone now, but, like, it is super laggy.
Hear me out.
But like, what's annoying is that like I can't see the lag on the previews.
You came for me. I'm ready.
Let's change it to quality. Settings. Stream output. Let's do it performance. Profile high.
Sorry, I had the typical male problem of couldn't get the thing to go in the hole.
Right. Where is it? I'm just trying to think about what I can do. Like,
Because the webcam's running fine, it's the game.
yeah. Save changes.
It's like the frame rate on the game is nearly
Hear me out.
non-existent.
Just gonna quickly. Is it still laggy?
You
Nope.
came for me.
We're back to normal.
I'm ready.
Maybe it's just having a funny 5 moments. That and like, I do have to share this with.
Here,
my-
I promise.
my
I'll tell you everything.
I know you will.
Yeah,
The killers who
that's
came
why I
to loot the
said
cruiser,
could it be an
who are
internet
they?
connection.
The Eclipse. Some kind of holy warriors. A cult of the Shadow Karja.
Shadow Karja.
Except they're not like any Karja I've known. They don't pray to the sun. They worship some kind of devil.
I'm not interested in their superstitions.
Oh, it's not a superstition. Their devil is real. It has a name, a voice. The most terrible voice. And they do its bidding.
And welcome, Valkyrie.
The Eclipse were sent to kill me because I look like
Yeah.
another woman. Older, maybe twice my age, short hair. Who is she?
I don't know. My focus found her image once, in the ruins at Maker's End. Maybe you can find her there.
You found her image in the ruins? How?
There was a door. Beside it, a kind of ancient device that contained the woman's image. My focus recorded the location. You do look like her. Is she your mother?
I'm the one asking questions. You say this devil, the Eclipse worship, has a name?
Hades. That's what they call it.
Hades. And you've heard it speak?
Steel to my soul. I heard. Just once, when it saw you. Such a voice. A cold, awful jangle. It scrapes your bones. It hollows your guts. A metal sound, but like nothing dug from the earth or smelted in a forge.
And what did it say?
Yeah.
System threat detected. Just 3 words. But in the voice of a devil.
Yeah, I think it was just like a lag spike for some reason.
What are these Eclipse cultists after, besides me?
They never said. But given the Karja civil war, they must want to overthrow Sun King Avad and take Meridian back.
What do I have to do with that?
I don't know.
When they attacked the Proving, a man came for me. Tall, strong, dead eyes.
Helis,
And who is he?
the terror of the sun. Stacker of corpses, we Oseram called him, when he was the Mad Sun King's champion. If only he'd died with his king. But now he leads the Eclipse. I tell you, he's the most dangerous man alive.
How did the Eclipse recruit you? I know they took your family hostage, but why you?
I was a scrounger, a rummager in dark places, good at what I do. I suppose they knew I would serve them well as a scout. I had taken a delve near Maker's End. When I surfaced, they were waiting. I laughed when I saw the priest, but then he showed me Helis's encouragement. I didn't laugh after that. They gave me a focus to watch my every move. I followed orders.
You had access to Meridian. Why didn't they get to Avad through you?
Too much dirt under my nails for an audience with the one true Sun King. But whatever Ursa or Aaron told me,
Yeah,
the Eclipse heard every word through my
We
focus. That's why I couldn't warn you. If I'd tried, they would have killed my family.
Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. Yes, I do. I play Star Wars: The Old Republic on Fridays. Every now and then, when there's a patch, I play Final Fantasy XIV. Currently, for Final Fantasy XIV, I'm just waiting for the new expansion. I will be playing the new expansion on stream when that comes out. I'll probably be, like, binging that. just because I like.
So I ought to
14.
avoid it then.
Well, I mean, you can if you want, but like,
Spoilers!
wow, like you're like 3-4 expansions back, right?
I'm still on Heaven's Ward, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if there's like a YouTube I can watch to catch up.
Maybe I'll play through it as a new character and you can catch up or something, but man, that's gonna take...
If you're gonna do that, we'd just play it together.
That's true, that's true.
Why are the Eclipse digging up ancient machines? And how do they get them to work?
I thought they
I mean,
wanted
on
them for scrap,
screen.
but they brought them back to life. Plugged some kind of device into the corpses so that Hades could whisper to them.
So
and
here's a
call them from their
blast from the
grave.
past.
I've fought that kind of machine before. Are there others?
Yes, the ones you fought today they called corruptors, but there are others, much bigger, bristling with ancient weapons. Those they call Deathbringers. I've only seen them buried in the ground, but after today, anything is possible.
Sounds to me like they're raising an army.
If so, the world will fall. And I helped dig the pit.
No, so this is a single player. This was a exclusive with Sony, which is why it's taken so long for it to get released. Another Sony exclusive that's coming out is what was that zombies one called? Do you remember? It's the one where you play Starkiller from.
Oh yeah, on the bike, Days Gone or
that's
something.
It. So I'll be getting that when that comes out. I'll be playing Mass Effect when that comes out, the Legendary Edition. I wish this was co-op. Another...
Weirdly...
Well, like... There's a game that is out that is on the PlayStation that I wish would come out on PC that it does have a co-op element, is Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes.
But something tells me that that's not likely to happen because, like...
No, but the advantage is I have that as well, so we could play it on the PlayStation together.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd rather play on PC because, like, I would need to get a capture card for, like, my PlayStation.
Me too, but the game is absolutely breathtaking.
Like, I want to play it, but I don't want to play it on the PlayStation. Like, that's the issue, is that, like, I don't have it linked up.
It's time to finish this.
It kind of annoys me that you need a capture card.
But if there's any mercy in you, free my family. Please.
Where would I find them?
My focus recorded the location. There are always guards there. You look like you can handle yourself.
It's like,
many good
not like you
deeds
gave
to
me
make up
much
for the
choice
crimes
but to handle myself after what you pulled.
After all I've done?
Yes. Forge a new life, Olin. One of better make.
Then the rest of my life will be lived in your debt.
You better
go to the place where your family is being held and wait for me. We'll make their lives the first ones you save.
I didn't earn this mercy, but I will die to make myself worthy of it. I will be waiting for you.
Well, hopefully he won't die, because otherwise it
well,
sort of makes my saving him, like, you know, redundant.
Well, the way I look at it, in the previous cutscene, he did say what they were doing was insane. So he's clearly not on the bad guy's side.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he deserves a second chance.
Yeah, he was strong-armed and blackmailed, so, you know, you can't really blame him. Another online game that I did play was The Division. I stopped that since I started streaming because, like, I wasted a lot of time just, like, not doing anything really interesting on The Division, just farming. And, like, for streams, that would be really boring.
Well, I mean, you and I can always run through the campaign.
Yeah. I mean, we could...
Like you say, it is kind of boring.
I mean, I'm fine with going through with the campaign, but it's like I'm waiting for new story to come out.
Yeah, I mean,
Division, and like that's not going to happen until like Division 3.
And the problem is that
You're not staying
Because of
long,
how old
so-
they are, chances are most of Twitch's viewers will have already either played it or seen it.
Yeah.
It's lagging
yeah.
again.
God damn it.
Is your roommate downloading something? Because that can...
I don't know. How badly is it lagging? Maybe.
It's jerky,
Yeah.
but it... Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see it's a little bit jerky.
I mean, it's still watchable if you grit your teeth, but...
Yeah. I mean, part of the issue is that, like, I don't want to restrict what my flatmate does on the hours that I'm streaming because we're sharing a place and he's paying rent. You know?
Oh yeah, totally get it.
But other than that, like, there's literally nothing I can do on my end that, aside from maybe making the resolution smaller, like 720 or something. But, like, technically, my bandwidth should allow for it.
Because that's what Zach's streaming in, and he hasn't set any other options.
I don't know. There was a you can set it. To be honest.
Yeah,
It's pretty
there's
easy
a
to
way
set.
for you to have multiple options so that people can pick what they receive it in.
Do you know where that would be?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Let me.
I know it's possible. I'm just not.
Allow for different stream resolutions. ABS.
Because as I said to you the other night, I'm locked out from a few of the Twitch things while they reset my security.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You have to be a Twitch partner, apparently.
That'd be why.
That's a bit shit, really. Like
you're not even an affiliate
no,
yet.
exactly. I'm like, that is such a weird thing to. You need to be either a Twitch partner or have enough viewers to enable transcoding once you pass a hidden internal value.
Yeah, so let's hamstring your advancement by not allowing you to access something that would allow you to have more viewers' satisfaction.
What if I reduce it to 30 FPS? I mean, it's not ideal, because it should be able to handle 60, but...
that might just make the difference while whatever's going on in the background is running.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find an option to make sure that I can actually do that. ABS. Change FPS to 30.
Because they're saying that, I don't know if you can see what Valkyrie's written, but he's suggesting 480p at the highest.
Yeah, I mean, I could do 720, probably. Stream.
Trouble is, you don't want it too low, otherwise it looks pixely.
Yeah. I mean, I can't do it while I'm streaming, though. That's part of the issue.
Yeah, you'd have to stop the stream, set it, then restart the stream.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with doing that if you guys are fine with me doing it.
Well, I mean, I'm here, whatever, so...
Yeah. Alright, I will be back in the in a jiffy.
This is good.
Hey,
I like this.
Yeah, I need all the help I can get. I'm so new.
Because the trouble is, even though I've been streaming for 3 years, I'm not very up on the technical part of it either.
Yeah, no, I get that. Right, so it should be 720.
Yep, you're back, and it ran really fast then.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Okay, I'm buffering on stream, but yeah, you're back, and it's fine.
At the moment, yeah. Because, like, I'm looking at it at my mobile, via my mobile.
Actually looks faster than it did before.
Perfect. Maybe I'll just stream at 720p then. until such time as I can get sole internet or something, you know, like...
But which annoys me because a few weeks ago you were streaming at 720.
Well,
then a random guy came in and complained that it wasn't at 1080.
I mean, the thing is...
And has never been back.
My settings at the time meant that, like... meant that the quality, even though I'm doing at 720, like, was really bad. Like, it was, like, really super pixely and things like that. Which ain't ideal.
No.
Which is why I had to play with the settings. But if I can even at least stream 720, I mean, I take that as a win, personally, you know? Like,
yeah.
I'm not
at the end of the day, if it's clear and smooth and people can hear and understand you, then that's all that.
Yeah, if you could keep a close eye on, well, a slightly closer eye on, is if and when it lags.
Yeah, the only reason I wasn't is because I had to overlay it.
No, I completely.
The SIBO.
Fortunately, we've got some nice viewers in the chat that are helping us with that. For that, I'm eternally grateful.
Let me try resizing the Discord window to be smaller so that I can... Because I only need to see when you're in a cutscene. I don't need all the rest of the functions.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Who is she?
Her name.
Okay, I've now got a way of watching both.
Cool.
You spying through my focus again? Well, go on. What do you know about her?
Well, you're here.
Stay on your present course.
Yeah, right.
So long, you'll know her as well as I do. Maybe better.
Did you play?
But be wary.
Oh, you know.
Because End is crawling with Eclipse troops. To help you deal with
John Wick.
I've left some useful equipment just outside the ruins. Your focus will show the location.
The guy that's talking to you is the black guy in the Continental Hotel.
How does he know these?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Concierge.
Yes, he's also in Quantum Break as the helper to the bad guy.
Right. I played a bit of the start of Quantum Break, but it didn't run on my PlayStation 4 very well at the time. Because I was using the streaming service, you know, the PlayStation Now, on my crappy broadband before fibre.
Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying as well. Like, I'm getting lag spikes. Like, I'm on
especially with FTTP.
Like, it shouldn't be a thing.
Right? You are FTTP, aren't you?
I've got
yeah, that's what FTTP is, fibre to property.
Yeah.
Instead of it plugging into the phone line. So yeah, there's no excuse when it's literally a direct connection.
My upload speed of like 40
Lucky.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised. I'm like, normally it's download speeds that like take priority.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's 720 now, but like I'd take that over like patchy 1080.
The storm's gonna back down before
Yes.
I do.
We just hope that the chat can. He's saying your game volume.
I'll crank it down. Like, part of my issue is that like I don't know what a good balance of the audio is either. So like I am.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is giving me constructive criticism is great because I am a complete noob.
I know what we should do. You know when you ran the test stream and I was like, "You're online."
Yeah.
Run one of those while I'm in a Discord
Sounds
call,
good to me. Yeah.
and then we can commute, or I can phone you on my iPhone or iPad or something. And we'll test the audio levels.
Yeah, because
Because
I never know like how loud it needs to be, and it needs to be adjusted game by game as well.
yes,
So it's
that's
like,
what.
can we not standardize this shit, like, and make it easier for us?
And not only that, when you add Star into the mix, sometimes she's so loud that it gives me a headache.
Yeah.
And other times she's so quiet that you can barely hear her, and you're like,
Yeah, I mean, like, that depends on her mic as well. And, like, it's only recently that I started, like, Googling, like, what the settings should be and what I should add to, like, the microphones and whatnot. That I'm slowly improving, despite the fact that I've been doing this for a good 3-4 months now.
Yeah, well, I don't mean to be rude, but I made affiliate in 3 months. So you're...
Not rude, you're just bragging. That's what it is.
Well, no, I've got the sympathy card because of the wheelchair, don't forget.
Yeah. I mean...
They were all sympathy follows, you know.
Hey, I'm just glad that there are currently 3 viewers on my channel, you know, like, this is way more progress than, like...
Yeah, but don't forget one of them is me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like, I'm still appreciative of the fact that you're here, you know, like... I don't think it would be as... Well, I think it'd be harder to do it without... Way harder, like...
Yeah, I mean, I could be playing The Sims or
yeah, exactly.
or boot up my Star Trek Online, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't touched that in years. Well, ages.
It's so buggy, though.
It is. It is way dated.
Huh?
Even the newer content is still incredibly buggy, and I'm like,
I think
it's a good job it's a Chinese rip-off, you know?
I think it's more like it's kind of like Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yes, I do, but I'm taking a break at the moment because I'm in law school. So I'm focusing on my degree while...
Yeah, I was going to say, you did for a long while, and then you're currently taking a break.
Yeah. We have discussed doing a duo stream. We are just trying to work out how to
and what to play.
Physically organise it.
Yeah. Like, I was thinking of doing Valheim at some point, just to jump on that.
Yeah, and that's multiplayer, and it's a game that I was thinking of.
Yeah. Like, my, you know Starcree?
Yeah.
You might not know as you, but Starcree is someone that joins me tomorrow for Resident Evil. It's kind of like this.
And on Fridays.
Yeah, I was just going to explain tomorrow.
Sorry.
And then obviously Friday as well. Starcree is someone that joins me in regards to recent Resident Evil streams that I have on Thursdays. And with our, like, Squad Fun Fridays. She's mostly a voice actress with YouTube that has some sort of 9,000 followers. So she's like, oh, I've got so many followers. And I'm like, I've got like 3 on my YouTube. And I've got like 8 followers in Twitch. So it's like, she's kind of an amateur voice actress. So if you go to youtube.com/Starkye, so that's StarKYIE, then you should be able to go to her channel. I think you can just literally like search for her on YouTube.
But I'm kind of glad.
Her My Hero Academia stuff has been doing really well lately. She's been getting loads of views for those. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
I'm kind of glad she does Thursdays because it gives me a chance to have a day off.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I did this full time, like it'd be worse for you in many ways. It's like that's why I'm like, are you sure you want to do like Valheim and stuff like that? Because it'd be an extra day that you would have to like, you know, be talent, as it were, you know.
I mean, I'm happy to do it. The issue is trying to balance it around my academia and Masonic,
Stuff.
because I'm also a Freemason as well.
To those
For those that
yeah.
haven't heard me mention it every 2 minutes.
Well, like Valkyrie, John, and as you only recently joined us frequently, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If people have questions about topics, we're happy to talk about them. And Freemasonry isn't as secretive as people would want you to believe.
Although I still
It's just
joke
no
about
bit.
New World Order conspiracy theory stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, even we do, and we're the victims, you know.
Yeah. Like that. What was it? That Simpsons mixtape is just on point.
Oh, the Stonecutters, yeah.
It's such a catchy song as well, though. That's the thing. It's like.
Funnily enough, the night before
you're gonna get him on a complete rant about Freemasonry if you ask that question. Are you sure you're prepared for it? Because he will go on.
Yes.
Yes.
Basically, Freemason.
Yeah,
because you're both correct. Because Freemasonry started out as the old stonemasons guilds. When the stonemasons stopped making buildings in stone, it became a male philosophy social club with charitable leanings. So we go out and about in the community, helping people while donating money to charity, getting drunk at a dinner, and having a good time, basically. In America, for example, there's an organization that's connected, you may have heard of, known as the Shriners, who actually opened and founded several children's hospitals. So, you know, we do a lot of things for the community, but the trouble is there's also a lot of conspiracy theories out there because it's what's known as a closed membership, where you can't attend unless you're a member, which obviously gives people the wrong ideas. And that's the short version without any of the political history, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But yeah. And it's quite funny that you should bring the stonecutters up because, yes, in England we do, but not every lodge has a uniform.
And they're different uniforms for different ranks as well, right?
Yes, and also
they are very expensive.
And different orders as well. Like the one that I sent you last night was £330, which is about $500 US.
Yeah, I mean, it is expensive.
But then it's all optional. You don't have to join once you reach a Master Mason. Yeah. Everything else is, if you want it, have it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm doing it because I'm my area's first disabled member. So I'm doing it to raise. So I'm doing it to sort of raise expectations that actually you could open the doors a bit more.
Yeah.
Because they're not discriminating against disability, they're just unsure how.
Against.
Yeah, I mean, it's more because they don't know how to deal with it, which is why I'm trying my best to fill all the expectations and roles to help educate them.
Well, like, it's not, like, hard to ask, right? I mean, I feel like...
Yeah, but the problem is, because the ceremonies are kept secret until you've been through them, it's...
hard to tell, yeah.
I can only advise them when it's too late.
That's true. It's kind of like a tutorial run, I guess, with, like, wheelchair disabilities.
Yeah, I mean, Louis not a Freemason, no.
Zach?
It's, sorry, Zach.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain is tired.
Yeah, I'm not a Freemason. I ask him about it just because I'm offhanded interested about information, but it's too, let's say...
Expensive for you.
Traditional? Like, too fixed?
Yeah, I mean, it is changing.
Yeah, that's great.
Henry said it would be. Not a
But
bad
it's
selection.
slow.
Yeah, I mean, that's great that it is
Close to
changing,
use.
but it's like...
Why are you doing
It
this?
seems too little too late.
Because I want you to succeed.
Yeah, I mean, it's changing because it's dying, let's be honest.
It has
Wait!
And like you say, when they realised there was a problem, it was too late.
Yeah.
Corrupted Watchers.
And people like myself are desperately trying to put the pieces back together.
Yeah, like, they need young blood because it's just rich white men. That's it.
You say that, but we do have
Poor people.
a Muslim. we do have a Muslim.
Okay. So not poor
One.
people, just the one Muslim guy.
Well, it depends if you class me as being poor.
I guess, yeah. But you're not in a position of import.
I'm not in extreme wealth, but I'm not exactly in terms of abject poverty either.
You're not homeless. Yeah.
Oh, the trouble is, in terms of ethnic minorities such as yourself,
Yeah.
it's not that we don't let them in, it's that they're not interested.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, I've
Because-
got absolutely no interest in it either.
Because they see it as either not culturally relevant or that it is an all-whites club, which...
Well, it's more like the traditions aren't our traditions, I guess.
Yeah, and it's weird that we don't have more Arabic and Middle Eastern members, because it was actually
This place.
based on Middle Eastern philosophy.
Yeah? I guess it's
yeah,
during the Crusades, right?
yes, and the whole Ithramite War.
That's beyond me, so...
We're talking sort of, you know, when King Solomon's temple was built, is
Yeah,
the main...
Oh, right, so way back then.
Eclipse. Just
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
So before
whole-
the Crusades, yeah.
the whole main part of Freemasonry is actually about the
So
building
it's
of King
when
Solomon's
the
temple.
Holy Land was originally relevant.
Yes. And yes, some lodges do full costumed ritual.
You're laughing. That's pretty much the entire thing. It's LARPing, essentially.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, it is, and some lodges do it better than others.
It's just there's a lot less dragon slaying than a D&D group. Is what it comes down to. Like, hey, if that's your thing, you know, go at it, but it's just not mine.
Basically, during the ceremonies, you sort of move around the room and they tell you a story as you're moving around the room and using certain visual aids to illustrate parts of the story. And that's essentially all it is. The rest of the meeting is a boring business meeting. No, it's only the candidate that moves around the room, not everyone else, so... Yeah, I get out my wheelchair and let somebody else see me.
It's a miracle. That would be pretty funny though. It's like,
But
what
no,
do you do?
we-
It's just
we-
adults playing musical chairs.
these dig sites.
Yeah, basically, there's 7 members of the lodge who perform the ceremony
Shit.
in different roles, while the rest of the members of the lodge sit on a bench and watch and try not to fall asleep.
Yeah. TV in charge.
Believe me, it's harder than you think.
Oh, I believe. But you do like talking.
Well, I'm one of the officers performing the ritual, so it's kind of my job.
I feel like you like before you
Shh.
but it just seems that the role suits you perfectly, right? I mean,
Well, it's kind of why they wanted me to be an officer.
yeah, you're a chatterbox.
Yes, there is a membership fee, but it's a yearly fee. It's not a monthly fee, so you
Like,
pay.
Wait until you add up like the cost of like the uniforms, the meals, travel, maybe.
Yeah, but the thing with the cost of the uniform, you pay it once and you wear it for your entire career once.
I thought you had another one, or was it just because you're a higher rank?
I'm a higher rank, which means I buy another one.
So
because
it's more out of you because you're a leader position.
No, that's not part of the lodge. It's because I joined a side order. And that's the uniform for the side order.
That lodge on the side.
Yeah, the Templar Lodge. But no, basically you only buy 2 aprons in the main Freemasonry. Rest is provided.
Right.
The only reason I had to buy one at each stage, which isn't the normal,
Right.
but I had to buy it because it had to be usable with my wheelchair.
Right.
So I had to get customized ones.
Yeah, that would make it more expensive. Anything custom tends to be
Yeah.
more expensive. Makes sense.
Because no, they're we wear aprons because on the building sites your clothes would get stone dust over them, etc. So it's just a homage to our forefathers. The cost yearly depends on the place where the lodge is and how many members of the lodge. For example, in the UK, in my lodge, I pay £140 a year. Which, when you think about it, is only like £15 a month, if that.
It's like I guess it's like a PlayStation or Xbox subscription. Maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I was happy to do it, because...
I mean, it's less entertaining, but...
Well, that is a matter of opinion.
That's just my own opinion.
I mean, you're not wrong. There are
times a year, so it's like...
Oh, no. My lodge only meets a few times a year, but you can attend any lodge anytime.
Right.
I know lodges that meet 10 times a year. So my 140 would also allow me to go into their meetings. And I could go to America and go into any of their meetings as well.
Any
yeah, exactly. Sorry, I just wanted to clear up that misconception that you don't... It all depends on where you go and who you go. You know,
where did you go?
Hang on a minute, Discord wants to share my screen.
Are you sure you didn't accidentally press them?
No, but I dropped the mouse.
That might be why. So I hope you guys are actually, getting an education about, like, the Templars. Well, I say Templars.
Oh, no. Freemasons, not the Templars.
I
haven't joined the Templars yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know their deepest, darkest secrets at the moment. Just give it time.
Not until January.
They're your sides.
Here we go again.
I just know the rest of it.
You'll join the war eventually.
It's essentially just a posh dining club that does charity work.
For tax breaks for the rich,
Well, I couldn't possibly comment on that.
Who's there?
You couldn't possibly not comment on that either.
Oh no, I mean it's because I don't pay taxes, so I wouldn't know.
That just means you're extremely wealthy. They don't pay taxes.
Oh come on! You forget I don't pay taxes because I'm disabled, not because I'm a mason.
I don't mean like people like you. They don't technically get 1,000.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
It's not very civic-minded of them.
And don't forget, we made Steve Gutenberg a star. We do.
They held back the electric car, they said themselves.
I mean, who wants an electric Prius, let's be honest.
I wouldn't mind that. When I get rich.
Yeah, but Elon Musk is a terrible person.
Oh, yeah, any capitalist.
I mean, he had an affair with...
But at least he had be a terrible person that's good for the environment.
He had an affair with Johnny Depp's wife, for goodness sake.
Hey, I'm not defending bad things. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. And he made it.
The fezes are cool, and I'm gonna wear a fez.
I mean, you can, a fez is far more affordable than like.
Exactly.
You can buy one like tomorrow if you really wanted to, you know. Nothing is stopping you from wearing that fez and following your dreams.
Except that I don't know my hat size.
Just keep buying them until they fit.
And
Sorry, sheep.
wow.
That's just how it works, right? Like.
And no, it's completely different from Scientology because it's all
Oh man, that hurts.
yeah.
Being
Yeah, no.
Scientology, oh fuck.
Yeah,
Really?
that does hurt.
You're basically
Because
calling it a cult.
Yeah, it's not a cult.
Ow.
It is literally basically people turned around and said, we want a place for men to hang out with other men, get drunk, but also help each other if we fall into difficulties.
Like, a part of me is offended. I mean, with Scientology,
You don't pay for each degree, you only pay to join new lodges. And you don't have to join new lodges, I chose to. Because I wanted to meet new people. You know, it's all completely optional. Unlike Scientology, which forces you to donate.
Get you to tell your deepest, darkest secrets. That's Scientology.
Yeah, well, I don't know, it could be that.
And they blackmail you with it, so that, like, you don't
Yeah.
become a problem for them, as it were.
I mean, you've also got to remember that Freemasonry itself has been going for well over 300 years. So it can't be as dark and devious as people say it is, otherwise it would have been shut down by now. And the fact of the matter is that in England it's run by members of the royal family. So you know they'd have no, dealings with it if it was like people say. But then again, Prince Andrew, but let's not go there. But then he's been pretty much disowned since that happened, hasn't he? So... I actually got in trouble last night for making a comment about the Queen and Prince Philip.
No, I mean, we're not actually offended, because, people don't know, but...
Oh no, I got in trouble on a Masonic group for making a comment about the Queen and Prince Philip.
Ugh.
Because, as you may be aware, Prince Philip has just come out of hospital after having an illness.
He
I-
looks half dead. Like you see.
Well,
like,
when
black
didn't he?
rings.
Let's.
Yeah, that's true. He like has black rings around his eyes, and it's like, you know, he looks like Sidious, right? You know, he looks like the Emperor from Star Wars.
That's Palpatine.
Well, Sidious, Darth Sidious is his other name.
Who then became Palpatine?
Well, his original name is Palpatine. His
Was it?
the Sith is Darth Sidious.
See, I always thought it was the other way round because he became Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, so his name is Sheev Palpatine. So he was Senator Palpatine in 1.
Right.
And then obviously he became Chancellor Palpatine, which meant that, you know, when they rearranged everything to the Empire, he became the Emperor of that Empire.
Right. But yes, so people were congratulating him for being alive and well, and I said, yeah, I'm beginning to think that he and the Queen are immortal, and I feel really sorry for Prince Charles.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, please stop that conversation now because we're veering dangerously into politics. And I'm like, it was just a joke.
Freemasonry is
Another explosion.
Organization, regardless of whether they want to admit it or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's not supposed to be, but let's face it, we were involved in the Second World War.
No such thing as a political organization. Full stop.
Full stop. Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, okay.
Rotate turret! And fire!
I don't know whether to pee myself and run away or go looking on Amazon to see if I can find one.
And be quick about it.
Find one more.
No daydreaming.
To buy. That robot thing.
Oh, yeah.
Has to be one of the Deathbringers Owen talked about.
But one of the surprising facts about Freemasonry that people don't know is we're actually the second world's largest charity.
The world's second largest charity, you mean?
Yeah, we're actually bigger than the National Lottery. And yet people still treat us like we're, you know... It's insane.
The lottery does so much good, though.
So do we!
I don't doubt, but I know the lottery's money. I know.
We bought, you know, all the new air ambulances for Southampton Hospital.
No, but I'm presuming they got some.
Who do you think paid for them? Who do you think paid for them?
Some very rich people who needed tax relief. You know.
I can neither confirm nor deny. It's yeah, my neighbours are beginning to worry about me because they keep hearing me listening to lectures on murder and motive and...
Wow. Wait until they discover you're not on a course about murder.
And I'm like, I can explain!
Focus. It stopped working. I've disabled his focus. The rest is up to you.
Yeah, this year's been a bit of a wild ride in law school because we went from, you know, torts and contracts to race riots to gay rights to murder. I'm like, that escalated quickly. Oh, you've frozen on stream.
Yeah?
Okay, you're back.
Alright.
Sorry, it did a buffer thing. I don't know whether that was me or whether it was everyone, but... You are back.
Yeah. I'll take your word for it.
Sorry, I've now found a way to monitor them both at the same time. and chat. But no, I mean, Azzy, don't feel bad for mentioning that, because it is a common misconception. Freemasonry is a cult when it actually isn't, because you have to ask to be a member. You don't get recruited, you have to come to us. And you can drop out at any time, even on the night of the ceremony itself. You can drop out even halfway through the ceremony. It's never happened. You can. I was there for an initiation of a gentleman that worked for the NHS as an administrator. He went through the ceremony, became a first-degree Freemason. Then the very next day he said, sorry, this isn't for me, and left. Got a full refund. Yeah. That's what makes us different from a cult or a, you know, because, I mean, obviously if you quit after a year, you won't get a refund because, or if you quit like 6 months later, you won't get a refund because people have already spent money, you know what I mean? Because the fee isn't for the degrees, it's to pay for the electricity bill, the heating bill, the rent on the building. Yeah, because basically the way Masons view it is, once you're a member, you're a part owner. So you have full rights to enter the building.
Snow haze.
No.
White as bone.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's only fair that if you're going to be attending, that you help pay for the costs of running the place, you know?
More of a yearly rental.
Those things pack a punch.
Yeah.
All right. The Eclipse officer.
I mean, even giving the money to charity is optional.
Yeah. It's always good. Like, do a bit of good work.
Because it's all done anonymously. So no one can see how much you're donating.
Yeah.
Oh, but believe me, I could tell when I was donating.
Yeah.
Simply because I was giving out way more than everyone else.
Okay.
I soon put...
More you want.
Because every month I was giving like 60 quid away, just on the charity.
Let's see what you have to say.
And most other people were only giving coins.
What is this?
The entity lives. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
What the hell was that?
That was a cool boss, though.
Hades? Hey! Mysterious stranger, did you see that? I need to find a way inside.
You know, when I'm giving away 3 £20 notes and they're the only 3 £20 notes in the entire collection, it's kind of obvious.
Yeah. Like, oh, the rest is like shrapnel.
Yeah.
Hold for identiscan.
One of these again.
Genetic profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Greetings, Dr. Sobak. Please step inside.
Such a pretty game. Love it.
Right? Oh, that fog. And yet, 10, 20 years ago, we were happy with a couple of lines of pixels.
Yeah. Well, saying that,
Dr. Sobek, you
No, it would have been around the Xbox era.
355,510 days.
Alright, I meant longer than that. I forget I'm old, alright?
Yeah, we're old. Yeah.
Wait. 350,000. That's hundreds of years ago.
But,
What's going on?
it got to a point where they actually told me off because I was donating too much money and making everyone else look bad.
Well, then maybe they should donate more then. Like, you'd think it'd be like, oh, don't. It's like the Hot Fuzz problem.
Right?
Like, Nicholas Angel is, you know, solving too many crimes. You're making the rest of the squadron look bad. It's like...
Or perhaps if the rest of the squadron actually did their jobs.
That's what I mean. Like, it's so dumb.
carry
It's
more.
like, how about you just do your fucking jobs better? Like,
It's like you are literally a charitable organisation and you're complaining that I'm giving away charity.
right? Like, maybe they should suck it up and start offering some £20 notes. Yeah. Never gonna get it. But I get where they're coming from, but at the same time, it's like, don't complain just because someone's doing good.
What you should be doing, yeah.
Well, it's like, if you're gonna do good, do good.
Right?
Or do good better.
Oh, it just winds me up when they're like having a go at you for doing the right thing.
Yeah. Just because they can't be asked to actually do good. Or like, just don't complain about it. You know.
They're rocking up in Mercedes and whatever, and only giving like a couple of quid.
Welcome to Faro Automated
You know what I mean?
where all the problems of tomorrow are being solved today. With over 25,000 human employees based in nations and corporate holdings across the globe, Faro leads the world in every sector of self-sustaining, fully automated technology. From revolutionary consumer products close to home, like the Faro Focus, to the dynamic Chariot line of peacekeeping robots halting bloodshed in conflict zones across the globe, Faro remains committed to making the future smarter, brighter, safer, and always surprising. Faro Automated Solutions. For every problem of life, a smart solution.
So they made the Focus. 25,000 people? That's bigger than a tribe.
It is.
So they made machines and devices. I guess those things were common in their world.
You can probably guess where it's going.
What was this place? What were they doing here?
It was a corporation. A group of people not unlike a tribe. And they made machines.
Yeah, go on.
I've uploaded some data files to your Focus. They'll help you understand.
There you go.
You gotta wonder at what point does a tribe become so big that it's no longer classed as a tribe?
I would say, if it's more people than you can personally know, I feel like that's a safe bet. That's probably what? 75, 50 people?
Yeah, I can see that. But then what do they become after that?
They become like... I guess they become like a country's people, civilians maybe? Populace.
That's what I mean. Is it like a town? Is it then a city? Is it... You see what I mean? It's,
well, people have a hard enough time like classifying what is a town and what is a city, you know.
Well, this is it, because people say that Eastleigh's a town. Then people from Southampton are like, Eastleigh's not a town, we're a town. And I'm like, no, you're a city. It's
No,
literally
Southampton's
called
a city.
Southampton City.
No, it's...
Cool.
Yeah, Southampton's definitely a city.
So when I'm like, I'm going into town, people are like, oh, Southampton. And I'm like, no,
No,
that's going to the city.
that's going to Southampton. Like, that's the point. Oh, I didn't drop. Okay, I'll take it. Oh, I was supposed to go climb up. Okay, never mind. Yeah. So it's like, you know, whatever.
Looks like I can
Semantics are a wonderful thing.
Yeah, And that's literally all it is semantics. Like, ultimately, what it comes down to is just it's a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I often find myself wondering pretty weird subjects along those sort of lines of how did the first person discover that cow's milk was safe to drink, for
They probably
example?
saw calves drink it, I imagine, for that one.
And we're like, I'm gonna go and suck on that cow's udder.
Well, they probably saw the fact that, like, pregnant mothers made milk as well. And they were like, we could try it, see if it's poisonous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you see what I mean about it just being weirdly random and yet somehow
Well, yeah,
it's
it's
accepted.
it's like, oh, who was the first person that discovered what was poisonous and what wasn't? They're probably not the first person to try and eat it.
Right?
Because if you ate it, you'd be dead. You know?
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
So people were angry.
I mean, that then brings you on to the whole, do you let a baby burn itself so that it learns not to touch the hot stove?
I guess it depends on
or...
the scope. Though I'd end up coddling my child just because.
I mean, to be fair, I'd warn it a few times, and then if it continues to ignore it, I'd let them do it just to.
Well,
I tried warning you.
The way
you know?
I see it is like it's the entire point of a, parent to try and protect their child.
The FSP-5 Kopesh.
Yeah, but there are limits. If the child clearly isn't going to listen to you.
Metamaterial construction delivers unmatched recoil dampening, allowing you to field any weapon package that conforms to your budget needs and conflict resolution profile. Patented biomass conversion systems allow extended emergency operations with minimal environmental impact. Multilinear target processing provides simultaneous real-time threat analysis and legal review for autonomous domestic operations. Or control can be slaved to the swarm's neural network for weapons-free force application. Either way, when it's time to call out the big guns, it's time to call Kopesh.
The Deathbringer. So this was the heavy hitter. Main battle force indeed.
The BOR-7 Horus. Imagine your complete engagement ecosystem comprehensively managed by a high-speed learning machine network. Whether your need is to replace battlefield losses or intensify force projection, the Horus's onboard manufacturing capabilities mean you'll never get stuck waiting for the next arms delivery.
Yes, because that's what the world needs,
The
more.
ACA-3 Scarab combines conventional and information warfare capabilities in one package, designed for high-speed, all-terrain reconnaissance. It boasts the world's highest survivability rating of any Scout-class autonomous agent. Maybe it's the Scarab's emergency biomass conversion systems that ensure it always makes it back to base, even if fuel supply lines have been interdicted. Or maybe it's the Scarab's ability to slave enemy robots to its own network. Now that's force multiplication. Add a prehensile manipulator arm that can handle a host of functions, from 360-degree less lethal riot management to surgical repairs of Allied chariot line models. And you've got the workhorse of any cutting-edge peacekeeping fleet.
The Corruptor. Slave enemy robots to its own network. It sounds like it's talking about how it corrupts machine. Looks like the way up.
Yeah.
What's left of it.
I mean, it's a bit like the whole American excuse for their military of, oh, we have to invest all this money in our military because we could get invaded when you're the most highly funded army in the world.
Well, like, to a point, that's true, but not to the extent that the US is currently investing into their settlement.
Frozen metal mostly.
Like, that's true
making
of
this
every
easy, Dr.
country,
Sobek.
but when your one country spends more on defense than the next 19 countries, 18 or 17 or 16 of which are your allies, like, it seems redundant.
Plants can find a way to hang on up here.
Unless you're planning on overthrowing your allies at some point.
Well, it's the American Empire, isn't it? Like, essentially. Because, like, they're like the new Britain, which is weird.
Yeah.
But like they do, like their peacekeeping stuff is great. Like they have prevented a lot of conflict in other territories. It's just when it comes to enforcing their own capitalistic ideals that it's bad, because their treaties with allies that. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go the other way then. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, when they wow, fuck. Yeah, it's only when they are trying to get their own way and using the brute force spider that it's awful. You know, like assassinating leaders of democratically elected nations because they're socialist. That's never a good thing.
I mean, like you say, I can understand it to a point, but there is a point where it becomes overkill.
Absolutely.
And yeah. I'm not saying it's necessarily bad in a sense, but at the same time, it's like I can't condone it either.
No. Like, you couldn't condone the British Empire, you can't condone the American Empire.
Yeah.
That's how it is. As it should be.
Because if they're favouring advancements in weaponry to kill people over taking care of their own population, then there is something seriously wrong.
I mean, like, those grants have led to the development of technologies that aren't strictly military.
Well, I was thinking more the fact that a lot of American veterans end up homeless compared to English veterans.
No, I can.
While I agree that England has improvements to be made, we are not as bad as the scale of America in terms of.
Like, we have our own problems, obviously.
Yeah,
like, but at the very least, it's not quite as bad as America as it currently stands.
Because you've got to wonder at what point a government trains somebody to be a killer and then goes, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah, cast aside.
Surely that's not a good thing, because that would just make it more likely that they would turn on you.
What's more jarring to me is this fetishization of the military since, like, 9/11.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I have family who are in the services.
Yeah.
I am very proud of them for what they do. I respect them for putting their life on the line.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't give them the right to blind faith.
I think it's more like, my issues is like, all of these US citizens are like, oh, thank you for your service, which, you know, is great, sure. But then when it comes to, oh, how about, you know, homes for ex-military, or help, mental health help for ex-military,
Giving them a decent wage so that they, you know,
free hospital treatments or free drugs or whatever, you know.
Especially if they've lost a limb or something in service.
When it comes to that, it's like, oh no, we can't do that. And it's like, then it just proves that all you're there for is lip service. You're like, oh, we respect everything that you've done. Sure, you do, to a certain extent, but not to the point where you got to put money on it.
And their own military commanders don't help either, in some cases.
Yeah.
I have to say some, because there are some where they will help. But usually when they do help, it's with an aim to get them back into service.
But the issue is that, like, they spend trillions on the military, but they can't afford these programs for ex-vets.
Yeah, they spend, what, 3-4 trillion a year, but won't do aftercare.
All of that is strictly for the contracts to build weapons. Like, that's all it's for. Like, because there's a profit to be made.
And that is where my problem
up.
comes from.
Hmm.
And the only reason I even bring that up is because that's essentially what's happened here in this game.
All right.
Like,
Made it.
my issue isn't the fact that, you know, the odd person wants to make a buck. I completely get that, and to a point, I do support capitalism. But,
you know, if you're good at a particular job, then yeah, get paid for it.
But like, not unbridled the way the US is, more like Sweden, Norway, where there are societal safety nets.
Yeah.
Because you've got a contract with your citizens wherein, in return of them paying taxes, abiding by the laws and things like that, you help them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's not a hard thing to get, but like, it's weird that in the US that people are so against A, the government full stop, and B,
which is by the people for the people, I might add.
And B, like, aid from the government when you're paying them. Which is just so weird of a mentality that I just don't get it.
If you give me a second, I'd like to read out a post that I came across on Facebook to you. It's specifically about disability, because obviously I'm in various disability rights groups and whatnot. But it's a post my friend put. There's never been more true about attitude in government. I'm just scrolling down on her feed to find it quickly. Because this is what I don't like about the new Facebook algorithm.
Right.
That it all comes out in random orders. You know, you could have something on your feed that was from 3 years ago.
Some kind of power cell. I wonder what it's for.
Just randomly pops up.
Wow, look at that. That is nice.
You say that after I've just said I'm clicking away for a minute.
Well, it does look nice though.
Here we go, I found it.
Sure.
Disabled people are heroes and inspirational and so strong until we ask for accessibility and equal rights and benefits.
Absolutely.
So that we can actually afford to live, and then we're scroungers and burdens to the state.
Absolutely. Not, you know, in the respect that I agree with, you know, their point of view so much as,
that's exactly what happens,
Then they're like, no, I don't care.
And then if you don't ask for it, people are complaining, saying, well, why don't you ask for it? And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. Like, do you want me to ask for it or not? It's like when what's his face? Copernic. No. The American footballer.
I think I know who you mean.
When he was kneeling.
Yes,
like, don't
that's...
kneel. It's disrespectful. It's like, no, he talked to
Not...
a veteran.
And is using non-violent protest, which is his constitution.
Is like, initially, the veteran was like, oh, don't kneel during the anthem. And it's like, well, kneeling is a sign of respect. Like, you kneel before a person that...
Oh, God!
That you think is in a higher position than you, right?
Yeah.
So, the fact that he's kneeling and not just taking a stand simply means that he's showing respect, but he's protesting in his own way.
And not only that, he's doing a non-violent protest, which is his constitutional right.
Yeah.
So by the veteran saying that, he's actually offending the constitution he's sworn to uphold.
Well, the point is like, the veteran that they asked was like, you know, that's a good way of protesting because it's not bothering anyone, you know. It is, you know, exactly what you should be doing because...
I mean, it brings to mind the whole clap for the NHS
My issue with for the NHS is like it's just words.
It's a hollow gesture. Yeah.
Like, how about you fund them? How about you pay them more?
Well, this is it. If an actual nurse or doctor has come out and said, "Don't do it, it's pointless," what the hell are you doing? If you really want to help, give us money.
But they
volunteer.
They would just see them as ungrateful. Like, that's the issue with the kneeling with Copernic. Whatever his name is. Sorry, that's my bad.
Yeah, no, I know what
Is
you
that,
mean.
like, first and foremost, like, oh, we can have marches. Oh, you shouldn't do that. You're bothering people that need to drive on that road. You shouldn't kneel. Oh, you're being disrespectful. It's almost like they just don't want to know your problems. Full stop.
And then they turn around and say, "Well, why don't you do something?"
Well, they don't, because the status quo currently helps them. They don't care about black people being killed by the police.
Oh, yes,
Because it's
I believe I
black
do.
people that are being killed.
I get where they're coming from.
To a point,
both,
sure.
On both sides, simply because it's not just black people that are being killed, but like you say, the majority is, and therefore
Well, the thing is when it's a white person's child that's being killed, the chances of a heavier penalty becomes higher.
Nearly 100%. Yeah.
It becomes higher. Like, you would get a furor, you would get them to clamp down on the police officer, whereas with a black person, they get a slap on the wrist, they get shuffled to a different department, they get maybe a desk job with holiday pay.
Yeah.
Like, that's nothing.
Elizabeth,
and I'm going to play devil's advocate here by expressing my opinion. The reason the education system is so lacking in the States is because they want that ignorance.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been defunding education for years.
They think if the poorer black communities don't have access to proper education, then they can't fight back.
It's not even the black community, it's the white community. It prevents them from going, yeah, you know what? This is actually really bad. We should, realize that black people are people. Instead, they pit black people against white people of the working class to prevent them from realizing that the rich people are stealing all of their money.
And that's the thing. They don't just do it to the white community blaming the black man. They also do it in black communities blaming white people. Because they know they can fuel the hatred.
I don't think that's quite as relevant because you don't see a black equivalent of Tucker Carlson or, like, the black equivalent of Fox News.
Okay, yeah, no, maybe not on that scale, but I've been to America and I've actually had African Americans come up to me and say, "Get out of my country, you white British."
Like, don't get me wrong, like, there are going to be those types of people, but
yeah,
my point is that the majority of those people in the black community will not usually have that sort of mindset, whereas because white people are a lot more numerous in that country and they are from the countryside, so the quality of the education is a lot lower, means that they only get Fox, where they get brainwashed and they have these backwards notions because it's owned by Rupert Murdoch, whose sole purpose is to...
Who owns the Sun and the Telegraph and
whose main
Daily
focus
Mail.
is to prevent people from realizing that he's making bank of their forced labor, and to keep the status quo.
I mean, one could argue that the reason that they're so high profile is because they want the black community to see it, to create racial tension, is what I was trying to get at.
Sure, one
I assume your daddy confirms this.
Alright, this promises to be interesting.
Perhaps we could have lunch brought in. You know, get reacquainted.
I know you, Ted. You screwed something up, something big, or you wouldn't have eaten the crow necessary to get me here. So spit it out.
There's
Huh.
a glitch in the chariot line.
Your killer robots?
Peacekeepers, yes, those.
Same difference.
So shut them down.
Obviously, Liz, we would, if we could. They're not responding.
Are you telling me a swarm has gone rogue, Ted?
It's worse than that.
Show me the data then. And I'll take that lunch.
This
Alone.
is where it hits the fan.
Yeah, I'm.
Ted Faro
I'll speak to you off stream because I've just
But they
formed
hated
a
each other.
theory.
Right.
I don't obviously want to say in case it's spoilers.
Sure. Unless it gets revealed here, obviously.
Yeah, but that's unlikely at this stage of the game.
It's a catastrophe.
Fully aware. It's bad.
Bad?
Jesus, Liz.
It's not bad, Ted. It's apocalyptic. You built a line of killer robots
Peacekeepers.
that consume biomass as fuel,
In emergencies.
and you made them capable of self-replication.
Limited, self-manufacture, controlled.
Not anymore. The glitch severed chain of command. The only nation this swarm answers to now is itself.
You think I did?
Everything else is just food. And at the rate it's replicating, Ted, it will strip the Earth bare in 15 months. We're not talking fall of civilization. We're talking extinction.
I get it, Liz. So how do I stop it while it's contained?
It's not contained. It can't be.
You know what I mean.
Right. Before the truth gets out, you mean?
Liz, I will do anything you say. Keep working it, and whatever you recommend, I'll do.
I'm gonna hold you to that, Ted.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but she was saying everything I was thinking.
Faro robots threatened all life on Earth. But somehow she defeated them. The world of the old ones fell, but life went on, or we wouldn't be here.
A
You
final
ever-
file has been recovered.
You ever seen you ever watched Stargate, the series?
I watched a few episodes here and there.
Project Zero Dawn. Jesus, Liz. There has to be another way.
If there were a nicer way to fix your mess, I would have proposed it.
But this? This? When I asked you to find a cure, I didn't expect it to be worse than the disease.
It's not, Ted. It may be grim, but it's our only chance. Now sign the proposal.
Sign it? I can't sign that.
Yes, you can.
That? Liz, I cannot in good conscience sign that.
You've got a choice, Ted.
I know.
I am speaking to you from a VTOL en route to U.S. Robot Command. In 15 minutes, I meet with General Harris and the rest of the Joint Chiefs.
What? Are you crazy?
Now your choice is what I tell them. Sign, and I'll tell them the wealthiest corporation on Earth has guaranteed the funds necessary to build Zero Dawn. Exactly as I've designed it. Or don't sign, and I will make sure they and everyone else on this planet knows the real cause of the glitch.
Jesus, Liz. You don't have to threaten me.
Sounded like she did.
I'll sign.
I was going to say, it's kind of... You went back on your word.
Look on the bright side, Ted. From here on out, you get to do what you've always been good at. Footing the bill while others get their hands dirty.
Woo. Savage.
Yet so true.
Yeah. Fucking tell me about it.
What made her solution so terrible? What did she do to stop the robots?
So yeah.
Executive access detected. Express lift opened.
So that's why it's called Horizon
This
Zero
doesn't
Dawn.
add up. Sobek couldn't have been my mother. She lived ages ago. All this searching, and I'm still no closer.
That's your reaction to everything you've just learned? To whine like a spoiled child?
Who asked you?
You should really try talking that way to me face to face.
As you wish.
Not hologram to
Do
face.
you really have no idea How monumental were the discoveries you just made, Aloy? I expected more of you.
That made me block
So,
you.
you have a face. Got a name to go with it?
And unfollow.
For all the questions you could ask right now, that's the one you choose.
Does it matter?
I've spent decades searching the ruins of the old ones, trying to solve the mystery of what happened to them. For years, I've suspected that Pharaoh robots destroyed their civilization, but I could never confirm it. And in minutes, you uncover more ancient knowledge than I have in a lifetime. And what you want to know is my name.
Well, if you introduced yourself earlier, I wouldn't have to ask.
Silence. That's my name. Now, why don't you try asking another question? Something less trivial.
What do you want from me?
If you're so smart, why do you know so little after a lifetime scratching around in the dirt? It's not my fault you're bad at what you do. I came to these ruins looking for Elizabeth Sobek, not because of the things she did centuries ago, but because people are trying to kill me right now, today. I've got bigger problems to deal with than your crap.
Congratulations. You just graduated from whining to throwing a temper tantrum. I'm sure Elizabeth would be proud.
I mean, she's not
You
wrong,
need to
though.
get on yourself and start thinking straight. Only then will you see just how big your problems really are.
I'd just block him.
What exactly are you talking about?
You've chased a personal riddle into a crowd of larger mysteries. The common thread is your connection to Elizabeth Sobek.
But what is that connection? She couldn't have been my mother if she lived centuries ago.
We don't know the connection yet. The only way to find out is to keep going, to keep making discoveries. Thanks to you, we've only just now learned that Pharaoh robots once threatened to end life on Earth.
But it didn't happen. The old one's civilization was destroyed, but life was saved.
Obviously.
I was gonna say, it's Jurassic Park.
What did Elizabeth do? How did she stop the robots before all was lost?
What was Project Zero
EMP?
Dawn?
Exactly the question.
No, it isn't.
Now, are you ready to go?
I mean, Zero Dawn isn't a giant EMP bomb?
Then why are you still standing here?
But, like, if it was, the old ones wouldn't have needed to be destroyed.
Not so fast, Silence. You've got some explaining to do.
I've told you quite enough. If you
There's
still got
Neo
questions,
when you
be
need
quick
him.
about it and stop wasting my time.
It's true.
You said you've known for some time that Pharaoh war machines destroyed the civilization of the old ones.
The evidence pointed that way.
Conjecture.
But until now, I never knew the full scope of their danger. That they could process organic matter into fuel, or that the Horus class could manufacture more robots. Like a
Objection,
cauldron of blaze.
conjecture with no
But the robots
evidence.
we've seen so far, the Corruptors and Deathbringers, they don't do those things.
Not yet, anyway. So far, we haven't encountered any that are undamaged. At full power, who knows what they're capable of? Now, if that's enough talking. Be on your way.
What?
Oh no. I'm just getting started. You've been getting a free ride on my focus, risking nothing while I risk everything. All I have to do is take this thing off my head, and you'll be blind, deaf, and dumb. So quit complaining and answer my questions.
Very well. Proceed.
Well, the relationships are give and take,
So
right?
far as I can tell,
Right?
the Eclipse are just following orders. It's Hades who wants me dead. Who is he?
I don't know. The Eclipse describe him as a buried shadow, some kind of devil.
That thing that spoke to me outside, that made that focus explode. That was Hades. It didn't seem like a person or a machine. More like a phantom. With a
Objection,
terrible voice.
hearsay.
All that's certain
What
Sorry.
hearsay
is
is
that
allowed
he wants you
in
dead.
court.
Not in a court of law.
Connection to Elizabeth.
Well, like,
Has to be.
Hades
What
is using the
witness?
Eclipse to resurrect Pharaoh robots.
But if Elizabeth found a way to stop them centuries ago, if she made special weapons, maybe Hades is worried I'll do the same thing.
In some of the ancient data I've recovered, there are hints of so-called super weapons being developed. Maybe to stop the robots, the civilization of the old ones had to destroy itself.
Yeah, technically, like, what a person experiences hearsay, because you can remember incorrectly.
You're correct, but that's known as being inside the scope of knowledge, which is then not classed as hearsay.
But, like, there's always exceptions, especially to the hearsay rule, that is sometimes allowed.
Yes, but it's rare.
I mean...
Who are you, Silence? And what are your intentions?
You really need to make this personal?
Well,
Yes.
shit up, then.
You literally invaded my brain.
Time ago. An explorer of forbidden places, a searcher of lost knowledge. Exactly as I said.
Why do you know so much about the eclipse?
I happen to know a lot about a lot of things. If what you're really asking is whether I work for the eclipse or anyone else, I don't. I am nothing if not independent.
Are you even human?
You've been using my focus to spy on me. How's that possible?
Every focus emits a signal, a voice, that only other focuses can hear. I know how to string those voices together, how to make them talk to each other, to communicate, even over vast distances.
How do you learn to do that?
Bluetooth headset.
Years of
It's a he just tapped into a frequency.
In principle, it's not so different from how you override machines. I override
Literal
focuses.
frequency.
And you can spy through other eclipses' focuses too.
Usually. All I'll say is that overriding the connections is complicated.
Encryption?
Is there any chance
It's
that
more
Elizabeth
complicated
Sobek
than
could
that.
still be alive somehow?
It's highly unlikely, but not impossible. Some of the ancient
one
data
sec,
I've
I just
recovered
got a
includes
message.
mentions of life extension techniques. Pharmaceuticals mostly, an ancient word for medicine. But some were still trying to perfect ways of freezing and unfreezing people.
Freezing and unfreezing people?
Cryogenics, they called it. But there were problems with it. Given Elizabeth's technological acumen, I can't definitively rule out that she found a way to make herself immortal. But this is speculation. Wasting time.
Elizabeth told Ted Faro she was headed for a place called U.S. Robot Command to tell people about Zero Dawn.
The place still exists as a ruin. The Asaram call it the Grave Horde.
Grave Horde? Cheery name.
You'll find it in the Eastern Mountains, buried under the tangled coils of a metal devil, or a BOR-7 Horus, rather, as we're learning to call them. I'll contact you when you get there.
I can't wait. Someday we'll
They
meet in
finally
person,
finished my
and your
shopping.
manners had better be
Yeah.
improved. Well, getting down will be a lot faster than getting up here, at least. US
I don't know, I
Robot
just
Command
don't trust him.
to learn the secrets of Zero Dawn.
I mean, he's always played sus characters. So I don't blame you.
He's got that face.
Is it because he's black?
Frost.
No comment.
Man, she's-
Rude. I like his accent. It's very received pronunciation for an American one.
Yeah.
At least I think it's American. I don't know for sure.
What's his character name?
No.
Silence. Sylens.
I'll look him up.
Yeah. He's a cool actor.
Lance Riddick. He is American.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah, I recognise him.
Yeah, he's been in loads of stuff.
Sorry, his CGI self was recognisable, but looking at his actual real self was a lot more recognisable than...
Sure, sure.
He's also in Paradise PD.
Don't know that.
It's a animated cartoon on Netflix.
Right.
Similar to American Dad, but about police force.
Makes sense. PD.
And he's in the new DuckTales as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did I get the...
John Wick Parabellum. There he is.
Yeah.
I didn't actually see John Wick 2, by the way.
John Wick's good. Good stuff.
I liked the third one. I really need to watch all three of them back to back.
Yeah. Really well, he's in all of them, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, he is. Martin Hatch in Quantum Break. So you were right there.
Yeah.
He was in an episode of Castle as well.
Yeah, that does not surprise me. What's this? Is that Sawtooth? Can't tell. I think that might be Sawtooth.
I think you watched The Blacklist, didn't you?
Yes. He did have a cameo, yes.
Yeah, he was the cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Vaguely.
he's in...
I don't really remember that, but...
He's also in the remake of Old Boy. Martial arts film.
Yeah, I know Old Boy. It has...
Jonah.
Yeah.
Jonah Hex.
The guy who was a Thanos in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was also in Jonah Hex.
Yeah?
Wire. Lost.
Didn't see Wire.
CSI Miami. So yeah, he's actually more famous than I
Remember it? Yeah.
He was one of the soldiers that got killed in 1998 Godzilla.
Huh. Well, not have known him at the time.
I can get out of this.
Yeah, I didn't realise he was in quite a few other well-known one of those things, because I'm so used to him doing background roles that he just sort of blends in. Sweet. Oh, my friend's picking up some chips for me on the way. So I don't have to cook tonight. What does mine say?
Yeah.
Dude!
So, what does mine say? Dude! Yeah. What's this?
No, and then... You'd think it wouldn't happen in real life, but the fact is I was watching a documentary with a friend of mine the other night, and I said you might recognise him because he's a keyboard player in a very famous band. And she said, oh yeah, is he which band? And I said, yes. She's like, okay, but which band? Yes.
Like that.
Yeah, your name. My name is you, and is that racist?
I guess they're a bit above my level.
Is that considered racist?
Kind of?
Because the reason I bring it up is that my friend and I had a conversation on Sunday about the fact that J.K. Rowling named her Chinese character Cho Chang.
Right.
My friend thinks it's rather racist. Whereas I thought that it's probably just a common Chinese name out there, isn't it?
Chang is. Chang maybe not so much.
But that's what I mean. It wouldn't necessarily be racist.
It didn't turn my head, so I wouldn't consider
I mean, I can understand why people might think it is because of the old Ching Chong Chang.
Sure.
But
like,
then
my surname is somewhat similar. My name's Chung.
Yeah.
So it's not racist per se.
I'd have to ditch something.
I guess it depends, like.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I was actually genuinely surprised that Siri knows that I mean you when I'm pronouncing your surname.
I mean, I guess it's the only Asian one.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, that's probably why, you know.
But I just found it surprising that it actually recognised it.
Yeah.
Because it's a UK recognition.
A lot of Chinese people in the UK.
I mean, it for example, it doesn't recognise Zavanovich.
Okay. Which is weird, because you'd think there'd be more East Europeans than...
Especially when names like Zavanovich are literally phonetical.
Yeah.
They're spelt the way they sound, more or less.
Yeah.
There's one letter missing, but other than that, it's phonetical.
Like, I've got a colleague who is Polish.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be able to spell her surname. I can barely pronounce her surname.
Oh God, no.
But that's just, you know, because I don't get enough exposure to those sorts of surnames. Like,
and this is it. Even I struggle with it, and I've got one of those.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we can kind of tell if it's like Vanovich. You know, like there's a certain consistency to that sort of part of the spelling.
Yeah. And it's not helped by the fact that they use a different alphabet.
These are helpful.
Yeah. Cyrillic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So a Cyrillic C is pronounced ch, like CH.
Yeah.
Your Discord is lagging, but your stream is fine.
Okay. Well, there's only there's two of you now, so...
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm just saying in general.
Cool. That's cool. I'm gonna give them a wide detour this time, otherwise I'm probably gonna die again.
Sorry, because you said to let you know if I spot lagging.
No,
so.
thank you. That is, it is what I wanted to know. I just wish there was more I can do about, like, choppiness and lagginess and whatnot.
I hate to say it, but the only way I could think that would be fixable is if you had a separate phone line, one for you, one for your roommate.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no, sorry, I wasn't.
No, I know.
Do
I
it.
just mean, like, no, there's no way that's ever gonna happen.
I mean, it's physically doable, but it'd be so bloody expensive.
There's no way I wouldn't make that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing that I like about this game is that it's futuristic but still kind of realistic. As in, you could see that.
Like, the part of me likes that. Like, it's a kind of a ridiculous thing.
But at the same time, it's feasibly possible.
It's an awesome, ridiculous premise like, you know, Pacific Rim. Where you've got a giant, where the only solution to giant monsters is fighting a giant robot, you know.
Have you seen the theatrical trailer thing? What is it? Honest Movie Trailers, I think it's called. But they're like giant monsters with giant robots and colors. tried to avoid them.
Yeah, it's because they're so... Like, they outnumber me like 4-1.
Where's the game-breaking bow, Louis?
Right? You mean that?
Sorry. Look, you can't erase 18 years worth of habit. Yeah, no, you can try. How about I start calling you Zach in real life? That should...
Hey man, yeah, if you want to, feel free.
That'll help.
Yeah. Probably still.
I'm new at this, where I actually know the streamer. You know?
Technically we're at an age where like you don't need an online alias, so it's just like an artifact of like
Yeah.
2000. Don't tell anyone your name.
My name is Wealthy Big Penis 69.
We've got 6969.
Purple unicorn dishwasher.
We've got 6969.
How dare they steal my completely original idea?
Alright, fine, I'll change it to 69 we've got 69.
Funnily enough, that's why my email has the 1 at the end, because someone had already...
Or like when people go, I've changed it to 2020 or something. And it's like there was already 2019 of them? It's like, no.
Right.
I need some sawtooth parts.
I mean, that's why I named certain things the make of my car and the year I bought the car. Because it was the only way I was going to remember it, because there's so many different usernames that I have to use because they're already taken.
Yeah. It's what happens when you're not like at a service when it just starts. It's like, oh god.
Or if you were when it started and then had to make a new account because it was hacked or whatever.
Yeah, exactly that. Right, what am I doing?
Because I mean, I'm locked out of my original World of Warcraft account because I didn't have a passport to prove my identity.
Yeah.
And then they closed.
Such a pain in the fucking ass doing that. Like you practically had to like have a scan of like your fucking NI number or something.
Yeah. And it's like, if you don't own a scanner or don't have a passport, you're fucked.
Or if you don't like have your original like code or something.
Yeah. I mean, who keeps their original game license 30 years later?
Well, Microsoft asked us for it as well, because they under the impression that you keep it for a rainy day.
Right?
But still, it's like,
And I'm having a problem with Ubisoft at the moment because I've set up the key a bit like the Star Wars key. And even though I've ticked to trust this device, it will still ask me to use the key occasionally. And I'm like, what part of this is a trusted device do you not understand?
Yeah, no, I get that.
The whole reason I tick that box is because I don't always have my phone on me because it needs to charge.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to like edit these parts together after.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a pain.
Because I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla lately.
I was thinking of potentially getting that and playing it on stream.
And yet, when I offered to give it to you for Christmas...
Well, what other game am I still waiting on that you haven't gifted me yet?
It's not a game, it's an add-on pack.
Oh, that makes it so much better. That makes it alright then.
Yes, I remember you.
It was Monster Hunter Iceborne, I haven't forgotten.
Yeah, there you go.
You just told me to take my time, so
Well, I didn't say you could take forever.
whose fault is that?
Well, you know, when people say take your time, they don't mean next year.
Yeah, it's cool. I've been paying off
I
my
will leave
water
you to
bill and
Rugged.
electric bill for the
Well
old
traveled?
flat first.
Yeah, and that's cool.
I would like to talk to you.
And keeping up to
waiting
date
for
with
it
the
at
bills
some
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget Yakuza 6 comes out next week.
What about it?
No, I'm just letting you know if you were interested.
Is that a
comes out.
remake?
Technically, it's a PC port.
Right.
It's been remastered. Okay. It's the first release for the PC. So I wouldn't call it a remake. Yeah. Technically it is, because it's a remaster of the original.
Yeah.
Because they're updating it for PS5.
Cool. Ooh, that was weird.
It's also the last one out of the set.
Yeah.
And we've got all the games on the PC, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's weird how, like, it was a PlayStation exclusive for the longest time.
Yeah, from about 2000, when it first came out, it was a PlayStation only.
Yeah.
And then I spent 300 quid buying it all, and then about a week after I did, it comes to PC.
Not surprised whatsoever.
For less than what I spent on it.
Yeah.
It's like it knew and was waiting for me to buy it.
It's like, how do we make him spend more money?
It's like he's bought it now, you can release it.
Yeah. Like, just your luck as well, mate.
Right? And I deliberately waited 5 years between Yakuza 0
yeah, I mean,
and buying them on the PlayStation because I thought they would come to PC.
Yeah, I mean, technically, like, I could say that about, like, my upgrading my graphics card, but, like, if I got a 30-something, like, I don't think I'd be able to fit it in my computer. Like, have you seen how big those suckers are?
No, but I've got a 1080 and I've seen how big they are, so I can believe
they're
what you...
They're probably bigger. Like, mine is a 2070 Ti.
I mean, I've got a standard middle-sized case because my disability, I need buttons near the top.
Alright, one sec.
You need but ask. They'll be... I'm glad you're back. I'm at a loss about Ursa. To learn she lives, then lose that hope seems cruel.
She wouldn't want us to waste time talking. She'd want us to find Derval. She said he raved about smoke darkening the sun. Tell him what you found in his papers.
A letter. It mentioned a shipment of blaze being sent to a warehouse here. Only it wasn't addressed to Derval. The name was Aland Forgeman. Does that mean anything to you?
Sounds familiar. Yes, a landlord. The Oseram have been buying up buildings across the city, including one under that name. Let me think. It's by the edge of the mesa, near the temple. It used to be a shop, but it could serve
by
as a
the
warehouse.
edge of the Masons, near
If
the temple.
Derval used the name as an alias to buy it, he might even be there now.
I'll round up my men.
I'll meet you there.
Erend, wait. Remember that no one hates Derval more than your own tribe. The clans would give up much to obtain him.
Take him alive? So you can haggle over him? You can't be serious.
Our security depends on keeping the peace. If the opportunity presents itself, take him alive. Consider that a command.
Think big picture.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Yes. Like, you gotta think big picture now that you're
When
a
we
big boy.
spoke, Aaron didn't wish to dwell on the details of Ursa's death.
Keep looking at his headdress and thinking back to the regalia photo
But
I
now that they've
posted.
been left to my imagination, those details are all I can think about. You were there. Did she suffer?
Honestly, yes.
That's just it. Do you be cruel to be kind?
She wasn't worried about her pain. She was worried about her brother. And she was worried about you.
Thank you, Aloy. I suppose I needed to know I was as much on her mind as she is on mine. Find Dervahl and bring him before me. He will answer for his crimes.
Alright.
Truth be told, what earthly good does it to let somebody know that a dead person suffered?
Yeah,
all they're gonna...
sometimes it's closure, right? I mean...
Yeah, because all they're gonna do is,
agonize over it.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I'm on it, by the way.
But it's like... Cool, thank you. But it's like... Well, some people just need to know. But it's like...
Right.
At the same time, it's not like you go... Oh, yeah, it was a sonic weapon, it was awful, she would have been in constant pain. Like, you don't want to say that. There are more diplomatic ways of putting it, you know, which is what she did.
A moment of your time, Outlander?
And by the way, I forgot to tell you that the sexual harassment of Starcree, Twitch have actioned it.
Sorry, what?
And when that person wrote all that stuff about Starcree, won't say what they said. In, you know, when I said the one day I'm away and you need a mod.
Alright.
Yeah, Twitch have actioned it.
Right.
And removed the account.
Okay, cool. Rad.
Sorry, I meant to give you an update.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Till we meet, everyone needs a splash of...
What we're doing.
Their lives. Come, let's talk
Yeah,
it over.
I mean... It's going to require a bit of editing. Which isn't going to be too bad, but it's still going to be annoying.
Yeah.
But like, on the bright side, it does mean that in the future, hopefully, like, it'll be more straightforward.
This
Yeah.
is the place.
Okay, I've banned, reported, and
I got a
so on.
surprise for you.
One sec. Sorry. Explosives?
Or he has a surprise for us.
Is it a bomb? Doesn't look too big.
Big enough to kill us.
All right. I'll shut up.
It's a bomb, all right. Well crafted.
Looks like kryptonite.
Blaze. It must be leaking from something upstairs.
Blaze it. Right.
I mean, I get it
If I
if
try
you
to take
care
it apart,
about
the
someone
booby
you
trap will
don't
set
want
it
them
off.
to suffer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think their passing was peaceful.
Yeah,
If the
I
bomb
mean...
goes off, the blaze will ignite in a firestorm.
That's a lot of blaze.
If that bomb downstairs goes off, it'll be just what Dervahl promised. Smoke will darken the sun. As the city goes up in flames, there's gotta be a way to stop it. If we can get rid of it somehow, the blast will be much smaller.
And honestly, even if you knew that they did suffer, would it change anything?
No, but that's where you're hoping the person you're asking is more diplomatic, right? To get
Maybe
what
there's
you're
some
hoping
way I can
for.
open this window to get rid of
Yeah,
the fuel for the bomb.
And that's the problem.
It looks like a wooden bracket. Not very strong.
Because surely you wouldn't trust a complete stranger.
Help me push this out.
But if they're the only
Okay.
witness there, you know.
Brute force. I'm good at that.
What
What'll I
else
do?
are you gonna do?
Save the city, I hope. But when the blaze falls, run for it. Because the booby trap on the bomb downstairs is gonna get set off.
Will we survive?
We'll find
Probably
out.
not. Now push.
I mean, it's a bit like my jokes that, you know, I can't play Stairway to Heaven at my funeral because, you know, I need wheelchair access, so it's got to be Highway to Hell.
Yeah.
We did it! Dervahl's best shot, and Meridian's still standing.
This isn't over. Dervahl said he'd make a Vought watch.
No way.
I wonder if I
Do
can
that,
have
we
a
have to go to the
church
palace.
service and
That's too heavily guarded.
Get back there, just to be sure. I'm gonna look around.
Satanic
Maybe
what?
Dervahl's men left something
Satanic
behind when
crypt.
they planted that bomb.
We don't have one in
Got it.
England.
Don't worry. You
Kind
tried
of
for the
disappointed.
Make one of your own.
With masons and hookers.
Blackjack probably be better.
Boat tracks. It's just a bit of blaze on
But
them.
it said a lot to me that during the
Anyone heard him
Can I interest you in a reasonable share of a lucrative opportunity? Shut up a
Yeah.
bucket line!
sorry, I thought it was another cutscene. You know, during the whole riots in America and stuff, it was the satanic church that went out and protected people,
No.
Yeah, I mean,
while the Christian church condemned,
surprisingly reasonable.
The tracks lead inside.
right?
Another one of Derval's hideouts.
I mean, like, Satanism is generally fairly reasonable.
To
More
be
so
honest,
than,
what
evangelists at the very least.
when I was 16, I
This
went
must be where
into
Derval said we could get
Waterstones in Eastleigh,
He tunneled through the wall.
and I actually bought a copy of the
Derval couldn't
Satanic
find a way
Bible,
into the palace.
just as shits and giggles, you know. And the first bit I read in it, which is probably the only bit I actually remember reading,
Derval.
So yeah.
and I'm paraphrasing because it's been about 16 plus years.
Yeah.
The only rule is do what you want, but take responsibility for your actions.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, get consent. Don't do bad things, and it's like, that sounds pretty reasonable.
And I'm like, that is more Christian than the Christian Bible.
Well, evangelists. And, I'd say they're probably Christian extremists.
I was going to say, the trouble is a lot of Christians are extremists these days.
Yeah.
Wish I could be there to see this.
God, I found
And
this.
I'm not saying that as an anti-Christian statement or an anti-religion statement. It is just pure observation. Because I am a man of faith.
Yeah.
I'm a man.
Sort of faith, at least.
Yeah, I was raised on the Christian faith and became disillusioned with it because of the evangelists and the extremists.
Don't blame you. Like, it's not hard to go, you do you, unless it's gonna hurt other people.
Which is exactly what the Bible says is supposed to happen.
Yeah. Like, that's not a hard concept. But then you've got, like, people who are like, abortion is murder because a bunch of cells is a person suddenly. And then, like, suddenly, as soon as you're out the womb, we don't give a shit about you. Like, makes no sense.
Look at you, Avon.
I can...
The wriggling runt of a maniac king. You robbed me of my right to kill your father, so I'll have to settle for you. I'm going to enjoy watching the Karja burn, even more because you'll be watching with me. Say goodbye to Meridian, Avad. Breathe in the stench, and choke on the ashes.
Because my argument is this.
Sorry, one second.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realise it was still going.
It didn't?
It went
I
quiet.
didn't hear anything.
There's a bit of smoke rising from the mesa's edge.
No! It should be a firestorm, not some belch from a charcoal burner!
Sorry.
Yeah,
Temper tantrum?
pretty much.
I can't leave everyone at the mercy of that machine.
Yeah, I'm going to the machine. The machine is literally right in front of you.
Right?
Like, I don't know what she was talking about. Like, it's...
I hate when games do that. Or the camera angle's forcing me to go a roundabout way. That doesn't mean I'm not going there.
Yeah.
It just means I'm doing a large
What's
turning
this?
circle.
Yeah.
Oh. You must be the Nora who bushwhacked my camp.
Oh, yeah?
And disabled your bomb.
Did you now? Well,
Is he
bomb or
Australian?
no bomb, I'm gonna splatter that throne with blood. First yours, then Avad's.
Be interesting to see you do that to me.
Is this a boss battle?
Battle is upon us!
You want me to be quiet?
Should be alright.
Can we finish this?
Okay.
I've got to.
Because I was about to say,
this isn't over yet.
I can understand their point of view of not wanting to murder a living being. But the very fact that they don't count life until birth.
And ravagers. A savage is nothing.
Well,
No, you're not.
From conception, which is done.
What I mean is, you're not counted as being 9 months old the day you're born. So therefore, are you alive until the time you come out the birth canal? Because you're still reliant on your mother's blood,
It's just an excuse
oxygen.
to control women's bodies, is what it comes down
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm trying to make that point.
to. Yeah.
They're leaving.
Like, they've never had a satisfactory explanation as to their position. Full stop.
And I genuinely sympathise with the women that want to get hysterectomies that are told.
Sorry, one sec.
Any good Oseram Tinker will tell you.
Shoot him in the head.
Always have a third plan.
Screw it. So at least we know where they got the lures from.
You know, those that are told, oh, you can't have a hysterectomy because you might want kids in the future. I'm sorry, but men can have a vasectomy whenever the hell they feel like it.
Well, the thing is
I hope you like fighting these things, because there's more in the way.
And the thing is that, like, there is a perfectly like birth control that
yeah
that men can take.
Yeah.
But they didn't legalize it because then it's on the onus is on the man as opposed to the woman.
When actually it should be on both of you because it takes two to make a baby.
But it's like
those majestic, murderous Glinthawks.
Sex shouldn't be weird.
Stay down.
If that were the case, the human race wouldn't exist.
But that's why they like, oh, we shouldn't be giving out birth control. It encourages women to be
No, because at the end of the day, they're going to be having sex whether you give them birth control or not.
So the argument isn't rooted in the fact that, you know, it makes sense. It's rooted in the fact that it's to punish women.
I mean, growing up when I was a 13-year-old lad, I knew a 13-year-old girl that was already having sex. It is. But I'm just saying, if they want to do it, you can't stop them. They will find a way, is what I meant by that. You know. Yes, you can say, don't do it till you're 16, we won't provide birth control until then because we're trying to encourage you to be responsible.
But like, they know that their position's taken.
Right, exactly.
That's the main thing. They're not saying to do that because they know that it's based on scientific fact that, you know, kids have do the act before you get married. Pregnancy to be punished which it should
Yeah.
never be.
And the fact of the matter is, there's a reason why prostitution is known as the world's oldest profession. It's literally called the world's oldest profession.
It's a very contradictory be kind to others, treat others as you would treat yourself. Like,
yeah.
Well, if you wouldn't want a baby, but you still want sex, like, just let them.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is, and I'm speaking as a white male now, and as a human being, it ain't my body, it ain't my business. I will moan and bitch about you telling me to have a vasectomy if I don't want one.
But, like, I would
Same as...
you're right to have it if you want to.
Yeah, exactly. Is it going to affect my life and my future relationships? No. Is abortion going to affect my life and my future relationships? Only if it's my kid.
Yeah. But it's like, it's the same fear that, like, homophobes have, where it's like, oh, what if a gay person hits on me or tries to bum me, and it's like, oh, fuck off. You've got an awful high opinion of yourself that you
That's
think
the thing. I actually had a gay friend who did hit on me.
Yeah.
I told him where my line was.
That's fair. And I'm sure they respected that. Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
And then I had another gay friend who didn't. And I punched him in the nose.
Right. But, like, even if, like, I get hit on by a gay person, I'd just be like, that's, you know, flattering, but no.
Exactly.
You know.
I'd love to be hit on by a gay guy because it means I'm attractive.
Exactly. Like, that's great for my self-esteem, but ultimately, yeah, that's not where I'm at.
But as long as they know it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
As much as I wish Ursa was here to kill you, I don't mind doing it for her.
Go ahead. I'm not afraid. Except that knowing you, Aaron, you'll screw it up.
He's taunting you.
I know what you are afraid of. Going back to Mainspring in chains. Every clan in the claim wants you dead. And they know how to make it hurt. They'll even bid for the privilege.
It's just like you to get someone else to do your killing.
Shut up! You're at the Sun King's mercy now.
Still hurt a lot.
Right. Especially since it's got like a crowbar at the end.
Exactly.
Actually, it takes more strength not to kill somebody than...
Yeah. You gotta control it.
Right? But yeah, going back to what I was saying, it is beggars' belief that they have this women can do anything, be anything message, and then go except for when it comes to childbirth.
I don't know that they do, though. That's the thing about conservatives, is that, like, they're pretty anti-woman.
But I mean, in general, I mean, what mixed message is that sending people?
That's
that
the
you're
thing.
all...
Like, I don't think they're that progressive. They're conservatives for a reason. Right? Like...
I mean, I wouldn't class myself as a liberal. I wouldn't class myself as a conservative either. I'm somewhere in between.
I'd like to discuss with you.
Because there are some things I agree with and some things I don't. But I make those decisions based on experience, not on prejudice.
Come to gloat, Nora.
Because I'm what I would class as a humanist.
Sure.
In terms of...
I mean, that sounds like socialist with extra steps.
I don't mean it quite like that.
But like
I mean that
say
everyone
communist
should
and
cover
socialist.
themselves.
Like, the way I see it is like
Let's
people
have a
say
chat.
people
No,
call things
a
communist and
colorful-
socialist because they don't like it. At the very least, that's the case in the US. And it's like, well, there are some socialist policies that I support. Like,
Well, the thing is, my attitude is this: if you can help people, help people. If you can't, don't. If it's nothing to do with you, don't stick your nose in where it isn't wanted. If people ask for your advice, give it.
But like, it's I don't know why the US has such a weird idea as to whether to support like a socialized medicine, because
I mean, I remember.
the way I
Sorry,
see
go
it
on.
is, like, if I'm paying my taxes, I'd rather my taxes go towards healing me and potentially others that, you know, are in a bad situation than bombing some country in the Middle East.
Yeah.
It's that straightforward. Like,
It's terrible what they're going through, but at the end of the day, if you can't look after your own population,
like,
how can you help others?
The reason refugees are swarming your country is because you keep bombing them. Like,
Aloy.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about Ursa.
Sorry.
She would have killed Derval on the spot. I know it. That's why she went out to meet him in the first place, to put him down. But she also told me to grow up. I gotta admit it burned a little when she said that, but I'm trying to take it to heart. And I guess growing up means doing what you should do in front of what you want to do. Right?
Yeah.
You're asking me? I'm pretty sure you're older.
Yeah, but I don't act like it.
Notice me, senpai.
Don't give me too much credit. Part of me still wants to wait for a quiet moment and wring his neck.
Yeah, but you won't. Because you're a good captain.
Come on, stop. You're gonna make me tear up.
So, after all this, what's next for errand vanguardsman?
Heading back to the claim for a while. I'll get in touch with my clan and we'll lay Ursa to rest properly. Like how she would have wanted. And by that I mean less chit-chat, more drinking.
Maybe less drinking for you.
What do you think Rosalind will do to Derval?
First off, they'll argue about it for a long time.
You see why I think he looks like Ogrin from Witcher, though.
I can live with that.
And the drinking.
Or what's his face from
In
Dragon
fact,
Age.
I might just drop by his cell under the sun ring to remind him what's coming.
Well,
I know, you gotta go.
Sorry, Zoltan
Killers
in
to
The
track,
Witcher,
machines
Ogrin is
to
the
master.
Dragon Age.
All before breakfast. You know what? When we met, I thought I was a big shot talking to a pretty girl hidden away in the middle of nowhere. Now I see that I was just lucky to get a minute of your time.
You're damn right you are.
Try not to forget about
And
it.
I am the
While
pretty
you're
girl.
out there changing the world.
And the pretty
I'll
girl
always
is
have a
out there
minute for
somewhere.
you. Maybe even two.
Two? She likes me.
Is that a budding romance?
Oh, I have her favor.
Right. She gave me her silk handkerchief.
Yeah. She showed off her...
1 second. I'm getting a
Hey,
Facebook phone call. 1
To
minute.
say you have my gratitude feels woefully insufficient. You saved my life. You saved Meridian. And because of you, there will be justice for Ursa's murder. We can mourn her knowing the truth, without painful uncertainty. It's hard to imagine where we'd be without you. And I don't want to try. I hope you will consider staying in Meridian.
Were you and Ursa, you know.
I suppose it's obvious how I feel. How I felt about her. She didn't just give me advice. She gave me strength. But we couldn't be together. Relations between the Karja and Oseram and Meridian were unsteady as it was.
The union of the Sun King and an Oseram warrior would have led to open revolt in the city. And probably war with the clans.
Did anyone know?
Only one. Dervahl. He wanted Ursa, but she rejected him. And so jealousy became yet another of his hateful motivations.
What exactly will happen to Dervahl?
For now, he'll languish in one of the old cells under the Sun Ring here in Meridian. As for what happens after we negotiate his extradition to Mainspring, I don't want to think about it. My father was very creative when it came to inflicting suffering. But some Oseram devices surpass even his imaginings. What a waste. Dervahl is a brilliant man. I wonder what he would have accomplished if it weren't for my father's cruelty.
I know who attacked the Nora. A faction of Shadow Karja called the Eclipse. They're digging up ancient machines, weapons they want to use to strike Meridian.
I see. What you're saying echoes whispers I've heard from Murad. A Shadow Karja splinter group, corrupted machines across the land. When will the attack come, do you know?
I'm not sure yet.
And we will do what we can to prepare. Keep me informed if you learn more.
I thought there was going to be more to talk about.
Shall we talk some more?
There we go.
Why do you want me to stay in Meridian?
Well, I would think that would be obvious.
Not to me.
Huh. Well, to start with, you kept the city from going up in flames. You were strong, shrewd, and capable. I could use someone like you at my side.
It might be worth taking a moment to examine what you just said. You just lost Ursa, a woman who stood at your side and could easily be described as strong, shrewd, and capable. It's pretty clear how you felt about her. And now you're asking me to take her place. Is this a job offer or a proposition?
By the sun, you do indeed share much with Ursa.
Or a propositioning offer.
An eye for foolishness. Please, accept my apologies. Seems I'm getting ahead of myself. I need some time to resolve my feelings. I will be forever grateful to you, Aloy. And in time, I'd like to get to know you better. Shall we leave it at that, then?
I have to go.
I understand.
She is, like, badass, though. I don't blame any of them for hitting on her.
Yeah, I'm kind of pissed off now.
Why?
So I'm not going to be able to eat tonight.
Why?
Because the person ran out of petrol on their way to me with the food.
An idiot. How do you not keep it on your petrol?
And then they locked their keys in their car.
You're friends with idiots. Well, you are my friend, I guess, you know.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Right, let's take a look. What do I want to buy?
So I won't be eating tonight.
You want me to send you stuff?
We'll talk about that after.
Yeah. Okay, good. That we would talk about after, rather than anything else, by the way. If that sounded snarky, that is not.
No, I get it. I'm just pissed off because I literally sent my money to them to buy the food.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I get that.
So yeah, I've forgotten what we were saying before it came. It's like the kid that eats all the cookies and then complains when the cookies have run out. You can't declare war on a country and then complain when people flee that country
and
to avoid
go
the war.
To your country, like that's the crux of the thing. Is that like you're the reason they're here. Like,
right?
If they didn't need to be here, then they wouldn't be here. That's just how it works.
And I know we keep bringing up Brexit, but it's like when they were like, oh, the European Union has control over our borders. At no stage have they ever had control over the border.
Yeah. Like, that's just not how it works.
What gets me is if you or I had done anything like this, we'd have been arrested.
Like what? Sorry.
Like making the claims about Brexit and stuff. We'd have been arrested for libel. And for slander.
I don't know, maybe. I still think...
No,
like,
we would have been. There was talk about whether they... Theresa May and that should be arrested.
Was it Theresa May that made the claim? I thought it was like... You know, Tweedledee.
No, that particular one was about something else, but it was to do with Brexit.
Right.
About her handling of it.
I mean...
Another signal.
Like, to Theresa May's, like, credit, she was actually at least trying.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna dispute that. And it's the same with David Cameron.
Yeah.
To his credit, when it came down to it, he said, "Don't vote for Brexit. I'm resigning."
Yeah. But like,
then it only got to the stage it did because he allowed it to happen.
I mean, he should have enforced the fact that.
That's it. Just need to get on the Tallneck's head.
Yeah. And I've said it every time we've discussed it. It really pisses me off that people have forgotten the fact that it was an advisory poll and you are lagging a little.
Yeah.
On stream. It's still smooth, but you can see frame rate dropping.
Fortunately, we're finishing in the next 10 minutes anyway. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wouldn't stop the stream again.
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh no. With all due respect to our viewers, or two of them.
Yeah. One of them, say, to our viewer.
So I don't count just because I'm speaking.
Well, you're working for them. You might have a live.
Just like the government.
Yeah. Like, I offer my friend contract. $1 billion contract.
Yeah, we're so near the end that it just isn't worth.
I wouldn't at this point anyway.
That's what I mean, no disrespect to people who are... I didn't the reason I say viewers is because we may only have one at the moment. But people could watch it on the VOD or YouTube is what I mean. Bigger picture.
What I do like is, since I've fixed my stream relatively speaking, like, I am getting more viewers, so that's cool.
Yeah, and I think that's the issue I was getting, was because I wasn't getting any feedback.
Yeah.
Because I was having loads of followers and people watching.
Yeah.
They weren't communicating.
Yeah, they're lurkers.
Yeah. Which is all well and good, but I don't know if I'm doing any good. You know, I need
like,
feedback to improve.
I wouldn't have known that, like, my stream was cutting out if nobody had brought up.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said, do you want me to mod for you? Because at least then you've got feedback. Yeah. And if it's something minor, I can use the mod tools to deal with it. You know. But yeah, I don't understand where accountability suddenly stops, you know?
Well, accountability suddenly stops when if they have to worry about accountability, then
But when you're in a public office, you're supposed to serve the people, not interests.
You're preaching to the choir. Like, they've gotten to the point where they're just in politics to make money. And that's literally all it is.
To quote the Declaration of Independence, we the people for the people.
Yeah, but that's not how they see it. Not how the laws of the US, at the very least, have gone in direction-wise.
And don't even get me started on separation of church and state over there.
Yeah. Like,
there's a reason it's done over here too.
Like, I see the laws, and they only really make sense if you look at it from the perspective of literally just making money. Full stop. That's it. Full stop. Nothing else.
I couldn't possibly comment as a law student. Ask me again when I...
It literally only makes sense, some of the laws, if it's just there to make money. Full stop.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I was about to say, ask me again when I graduate and I have a diploma. Therefore, my opinion matters.
I mean, like, technically, my opinion doesn't matter, but like, I think it's pretty obvious when it comes to that sort of stuff.
I know. I think you missed the joke of only the qualified.
But it's still like, it's just, oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. The very fact that we can make jokes of it says volumes.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have... There shouldn't be a need for jokes to lighten the humour.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, right? I guess I'll go for that one.
You know, I've grown up having to justify my own existence.
Yeah.
Your culture has done the same.
In what way?
Because of your ethnic minority.
As in, done the same with what, sorry?
Having to justify your own existence in a Western country.
Oh, right, okay.
And it's wrong. It's wrong that you're doing it because you're an ethnic minority. I'm a white male. You'd think a white male British citizen would mean I'm automatically treated as the same as any other British citizen. Especially because... Especially because I'm white. I don't mean that in a racist way, but I mean the attitude. You know?
I get it.
And yet I'm not even... I'm seen as lesser than a minority.
Yeah, there are always some things that they will pick out.
And all because of a defect that happened when I was born.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I've been trying to teach a lot of my friends that, like Star, right? She just apologized. She's a lot better now, but like, she would apologize before saying or doing anything, and it's like, you don't have to justify talking to us or giving us an excuse or whatever, or saying that, you know, you're under the weather or whatever.
To be honest, I know I do it too. I do it less with you because I know you well enough.
Yeah.
But I know I still do it.
But like, it's not something you can help. And worst case scenario is, you know, I have a backup plan.
And the thing is, I also do it because...
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Like, for me, it's only an issue if we're on the cusp of starting, or we're
like 2 minutes before we go live, yeah.
Then suddenly I'm told that you can't make it because that means I have to scramble.
Well, this is why I try and let you know at like when you finish work.
Yeah, that's why I tend to go half an hour before. Like, are you up for tonight? Like, that's why I try to elicit that information myself before, you know, it's due to happen.
Yeah, whereas I always try and volunteer it before you have to, because it's a mark of respect for what you're doing as well.
It's just like...
It's common courtesy.
Yeah, courtesy. That's the exact word I was looking for. It's that it's
But the thing is, I can understand Star's attitude and behaviour because mine started because I had abusive parents who would literally hit me for no reason.
Yeah.
Clear that up later.
So
it's like a lot of it is down to background. Like she's had issues where like parents had had favourites and they didn't help her with bullying as much as.
Oh yeah, I've never had that.
No, but you know what I mean, like so like.
Yeah, no, sorry, that was what the majority of the abuse was with me too. But yeah, I was practically neglected in favour of my sister. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you don't have to apologise for saying or stating stuff. Apologise if you're doing something wrong, which you're not. You know.
The trouble is, the way they raise you in that situation is they make you feel like you're in the wrong, because they are like, oh my god, how dare you have feelings? How dare you?
A weird version of gaslighting, right? Like.
No, it's not a weird version of gaslighting. It is gaslighting. It's a bit like in the, the manual, or however you pronounce it, that we read, the martial arts one of you're trash and how dare you fight back.
Yeah.
You're trash for defending yourself.
Yeah. But at least that builds you back up.
Why do you think I read so many of them?
Whereas, like, with abusive, like, relations, not so much.
Thing is, if I defended myself, my father and mother would punish me even further.
Yeah.
So after a while, it was like, if you're going to treat me like I'm a piece of poo on the bottom of your shoe, I might as well act like it because I'm going to get punished anyway.
Yeah, no, I completely get that mindset.
Then when I'm out and about with people like yourself, I'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry for doing this. Simply because I'm treating you with respect that I wouldn't give my family, because I don't want you to suddenly start hitting me.
Well,
I'm not saying you would, but that's the mindset that you are.
That's the worry, even if it's unlikely to happen. Like, it's expected. Like, abusive actions become expected, which it shouldn't be. It never should be.
And don't get me wrong, I know they mean well, but people like certain members of my lodge who yell at me for apologising, only making it worse because it's reinforcing the...
There's always more diplomatic ways of putting stuff.
Because they're like, I'm going to hit you if you keep apologising because you're doing nothing. Because you're doing nothing wrong, and it's like, well,
making it better. Yeah.
Right?
Makes it worse.
I know they mean well when they're saying it.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's the same behaviour as the abuse.
Doesn't make it better.
Right. And, I'm not holding it against them because I know they're doing it to try and shock me out of the behaviour.
Yeah.
It's just reinforcing it. I'm gonna be totally honest and open with you about something that I don't discuss with people, not because...
Are you sure it's something you want to challenge, do you?
I was about to say, not because it's private,
right.
Because it's something that I'm genuinely afraid of, but it's something that needs awareness in the world.
Right.
I have had several relationships that have fallen apart because my girlfriends have said I'm distant. I don't let them close to me.
Yeah.
Etc. Well, that's the reason I don't let you close to me, because I'm afraid that you're going to start hurting me the way that other people have.
Yeah.
I don't mean to keep secrets from you. I just don't tell you about it because I'm afraid that you're going to turn out the same way.
But at the same time, it's like, how much should I be sharing? Like,
and then I've had...
Well,
this is it.
That you can share. even with no
This-
relationship.
This is it, because I've then gone, right, so that girlfriend left me because I shared too little.
Yeah.
So I'll then go to my next girlfriend and I'll tell
Share
them
too much.
more.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my god, I can't handle this, you're too
Much
intense.
baggage. Yeah.
I'm like, so where do I draw the fucking line?
I guess, like, negotiate. Like,
But then if you need to negotiate, then they know you're hiding something.
No, it's more like...
Tasty.
It's always good to communicate with your partner, right? Like, so that's what I mean when I say negotiate, not like actual negotiation so much as...
But the reason I've not turned my back on relationships, but I don't bother with them anymore,
Yeah.
is because you'll get girlfriends that are like, oh, tell me anything.
Yeah.
I'll be here no matter what. And then you tell them, and then they run away.
You're too intense, yeah, yeah.
And it's like, well, why do you think I didn't fucking tell you anything? You can't have it both ways.
I mean, I
Either
feel like
you know...
it is probably a more of a ease them into it thing rather than...
Even when I tried that, they're like, you're still hiding something. Well, yeah.
I don't know.
Because I know...
I feel like for those sorts of girls, it's like,
Whenever a
well,
machine
if
falls,
you
the
really
scrapper
like
won't be
me,
far.
you'll give me time to open up to you, right?
Right. And that's why I haven't had relationships since.
Yeah.
I've had sex partners, but not relationships.
Yeah. Alright, enough of that. Let's finish for the day.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Alright, guys, thank you.
Yeah, no, not
for...
enough of that because of the conversation, but because we're actually at the end of time.
Yeah, 3 minutes over, so, you know, it is what it is. Thank you for joining us for part 6, I think.
And please do remember, if you're watching, that you can reach out to us on any topic you want us to discuss.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we are more than happy to discuss anything you wish. It's just we don't know what to talk about if you don't tell us.
Yeah, so this game is going to be, like I said previously, a podcasty one. So if you want to discuss it with us live, twitch.tv/Zach Rayner, no space.
Yep. Or even send a message to you on
Twitter,
YouTube if you're watching it
YouTube.
after the fact, or
I broadcast 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. on weekdays. I don't broadcast on weekends because I've got a full-time job and I'd like to keep my weekends free. But if you want to discuss it live with us, please feel free to join us on Twitch.
And you never know, if you become a serious regular, you may even be invited into voice chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Maybe we could do like a group chat thing. Maybe we could do some sort of a podcast thing. Who knows? Like with more than just like me and Hot Wheels, or like...
I mean, I would love to get to the stage where we invite viewers in for a round table discussion.
Yeah, I mean, like, it feels like it's probably a little bit early for me because, you know...
Oh, no, it is, because...
on Twitch, but, you know, like... you know,
it is, but there's no harm in putting it out there, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It may end up leading more people to be viewers.
Yeah, youtube.com/Zach_Rayner. But yeah.
Or youtube.com/HotwheelsOfDoom.
Yeah, do you have a YouTube? I thought you just had a Twitch, but...
I did have a YouTube.
Yeah. Cool.
I did.
Well, there you go. Learn something new every day.
It still exists. Because I haven't streamed, it hasn't been updated for a while.
So yeah, please feel free to give us a follow. You know how YouTube and Twitch works. I don't really like to harp on about it, really. But yeah, this
press that bell.
Yeah, smash that like button. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for joining us. I will see you guys next time.
Otherwise, you're not worthy. Yeah.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.